Welcome in, Matthew. I'm just getting my hashtags done. 1 second, brother. Welcome in, bro. Sorry I had to get some my hashtags done. How you doing, Matthew? Welcome in, brother. No, you're good, Matthew. I appreciate you for popping in today. And in a way, I do think that Candace is Charlie's angel, and we are only shown what they want us to show. But I think there's something that you got massively snowed in last week. Hell yeah, so did we, man. God bless. All right, I'm gonna get these things done real quick. Give me 1 sec. I gotta get my goals set up here. I don't know why this is. Sorry, guys. I don't know why this is acting a fool. All right, here we go. I think I got everything going. I think Charlie and Candace were in love together. I truly think that they were in love, but I think that their handlers put them separate ways. But we'll go. We'll deal with that in a minute. Sorry, I'm a little late. I was gonna be live earlier, but I had to go daddy mode at school and talk to another parent about their kids putting hands on my kids And I was very cordial about it, but next time I do it, I might not be so cordial. So, Mr. Kanya was gangster today, okay? That's just how we're going to do it. It looks like there's a Wikipedia thing. Okay, she's going to be talking about 9/11, it looks like, on here. So we're going to get into Candace's stream. It looks like she's getting further and further and further into the Romanian scandal with Erica Kirk and all this other stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. And then I want to go through the Epstein files also that are unredacted, or that are, some of them are unredacted, but we're going to get through it ourselves. We're going to try and figure some stuff out. It's going to be a good motherfucking day today. You understand me? And everybody better donate. Donate all of your savings and your mama's savings and your grandma's life insurance savings. As you guys know, I'm a comedian, so don't take me seriously. But if you want to take me seriously, that'd be cool. Thank you for the $2, Matthew, right off the rip, man. God bless. Love the channel, man. Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you for the $2, Matthew. I finally have to move on to this wall, so I'm going to write your name under the clock on this wall. We're finally getting the new camera coming. The new webcam's coming, so you guys can finally see me get up, walk around, and write down the names. We're finally having a new one come, so let's go. I'm going to write down your name now, right now, brother. What's that?
I mean, I know, but...
You know what I was thinking about was putting this thing here, right here. And then that wood stuff I showed you. Remember? Fill this up, put my desk here, have the cam here, and this can be where the studio is, for where they see me at the desk on the table and shit. I mean, we could do it here, but I don't want this fucking leak to ruin anything again. But, well, a lot of studios are small, but it looks bigger on camera. Love you. Have a good day at work. Thank you again for the $2. Appreciate you, brother. I know the Epstein files are getting wild. That girl's journal was ridiculously crazy, okay? Let's not even... We're going to get into that. The fact that girl's journal... We got into it yesterday. And it made me sick to my stomach. They are literally harvesting babies from people because they have good genetics. I mean... How much crazier can our world get? Have a good day at work, Ma. Love ya. But yeah, man, we're running it up. Today, Daddy had to be a daddy bear. Oh my God, the Kevin Gates with the Kevin Gates interview with Club Shay Shay was fucking awesome as well, dude. I really loved listening to that. It was awesome. And it was everything that I've ever wanted to hear in a while. I'm going to go put a little bit more coffee in my cup and we'll get into everything. Make sure everybody that's new to the channel, anyone that's coming in that's new to the See Me Now family and new to the See Me Now channel, make sure you guys hit that red or white button right above me. It's the subscribe button. Hit that button. Help me get to 20,000 subscribers. At this moment right now, we are at, let's see here. Where's that other charger at? We are at 10. Wait, let's refresh it quick. All right. We are at 10,119, man. Everybody keep hitting that subscribe button up here. Help me get to 20,000, man. I feel like we're going to reach 20,000 before the end of the month really fast. So, we're running it up. I appreciate everybody for being in here. Hold on, let me fix this cord. I might have to not use my laptop, I guess. I need another charger cord, bro. Like, straight up. Because this other laptop that I do research on, these cords that I got are just going to shit. But yeah, I had to be, I had to be a big old daddy bear this morning. And, because before we get into this, my dad, when someone put their hands on me, my dad went to the school and put his hands on the teacher. I can't do that in this day and age or I'd be arrested. My daughter came up to me, and this has been an ongoing problem with this other kid, and told me that her family or whatever, or not her family, that this kid has been continuously putting her hands on her and making it so anyway. This kid has been putting her hands on on her wrists and like throwing her to the ground and swearing at her and stuff like this. And like, she told me this, and I talked to the teachers about it like a month ago, right? And well, actually 2 months ago. And so they said that they'd talk to her, blah 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 blah, and it's like, okay, well, you better do it, you know what I mean? Because otherwise I'm gonna have to talk to the parent. And I think because I'm like the only, hold on, 162 108. I think because like I'm the only dad that drops off their kids, because I'm the only single father with two daughters at the school, you know, that they think like I'm gonna be crazy or something. But anyway, I told him that. So my daughter this morning tells me about how this girl's been putting her hands on her, pushing her to the ground, this, and that. And my daughter, she's a nice girl. She wants to be friends with everybody, right? But I've told my daughter many times, if you tell them stop twice and they keep touching you, sock them in the face. My daughter knows how to punch. I train her on it all the time. We play around all the time. I've taught her how to throw a proper punch. She knows how to get down, okay? She knows how to get down in Funky Town. So anyway, my daughter's a nice girl. She doesn't want to resort to that. So this morning she told me that. And I said, you know what? Daddy Bear is coming out. So I brought my daughter to school. Ended up seeing the mom right when I was walking out of the classroom and dropped my daughter off. Because I'm not like all these other parents who just drop their fucking kids off at the front door. I walk my kid all the way to the classroom. And I seen the mom and I said, hey, I'm not trying to be rude. So don't take me as being rude. I said, but you need to talk to your daughter about putting her hands on my kid. You know? Because this kid's, she's going to be lucky if eventually she doesn't come home with a fucking black eye because my daughter socks the shit out of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I taught my daughter, like, if someone keeps bugging you, then do what you need to do to defend yourself, and I'll always defend you no matter what. And, yeah. So, shit's been getting rough with that, so I had to be a daddy bear this morning. I had to let it come out a little bit. The claws didn't come out. But the teeth, I snarled the teeth a little bit, So everybody, welcome to the channel, man. We're about to go over Candace's last stream. It looks like she's going deeper into the Romanian Angels project, which is interesting, It's gonna be interesting. Anyone that's new to the See Me Now channel, we are at 10,119 subscribers, guys. Everybody who comes in here, hit that subscribe button above my head, join the See Me Now family, hit the three dots on the top right corner, and hit the like button and hit the notification bell so you can be a part of every single live. Join one of the best, fastest growing communities on YouTube. We are one of the most positive communities ever on YouTube. You'll see when you get in here, it's nothing but support. So join the family, click the like button. Let's do what we do every day and try and hit 100 likes before the end of the first hour of the stream. We have 45 minutes left. Let's go. Good morning, Pumpkin.
Guys, happy to
The Experiment. Good morning, The Experiment. God bless. Welcome to the family.
Tuesday, a lot to uncover today. First and foremost, we have a lot of alibis that were given to us about September 10th, where people were when they got the news. And I have to say, these alibis are beginning to crumble like Building 7 on 9/11. We're going to talk about that too, Building 7, very briefly. Also, Ben Shapiro watches every single minute of this show. Trust me, he directly quotes it all the time, everywhere he goes. We don't know, but we know. And
it's just like Candace said, Ben Shapiro is like that ex-boyfriend that just can never let go. And it's like, if I can't have you, no one can. And he just watches every one at Candace's podcast, foaming at the mouth like, God, I miss seeing her around the office with her beautiful self. What's she saying next?
I have to watch this clip of him attempting to make fun of me. It's glorious.
Do I really have to hear his fucking voice? Do I? Nikki Patrick, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless.
Glorious. I really have one. Welcome back to Candace. Government is out to cover, to uncover, and apparently our government is out there just trying to discover certain things. And I just have to tell you what's going on in this world right now. The best way that I can make you understand this.
Thank you, Jesus Christ.
We are essentially the Muggles. For those of us who read Harry Potter, maybe those of us who were dweebing it like me and read it a few times in the story of Harry Potter, we're the Muggles. There's this entire world of witchcraft and wizardry, spiritual darkness and spiritual light that's happening. People that are practicing literally.
I'm so sorry for all the noise, guys, but I only have one laptop charger. And I'm going to keep an eye on the battery of the one I'm streaming on. But I have to charge the battery of this one just a little bit. So we're going to plug it in. I will not let the fucking computer die this time. Welcome in, Jinxon444. Again, everybody who's new to the See Me Now channel, we just hit 10K on Saturday. We're at 10,119. No, now we're at 10,121. Thank you guys for the subscriptions. Continue to hit the subscribe button above my head. With the notification bell on the top, with the 3 dots on the top right of the screen, hit the like button with the notification bell. Let's try and hit 100 likes within the first 60 minutes of the stream. God bless everybody. I'll shut up. Let's go. I also do have a live super chat goal up of 10 super chats. Help me reach my daily goal of $100. 10 super chats, $10 and higher. So help me reach that. We got 2 hours 45 minutes on that left. And any big donations, send through Ko-Fi because YouTube takes 30%. If you want to really support the channel and donate something big like 50 or $100, send it through the Ko-Fi. God bless.
Babylonian magic, and they intentionally rendered us as the Muggles, the people who are not aware that it's going on at all. That all seems so ridiculous. That can't be true. And I think that began, by the way, transforming us into idiots. It began in America, when they removed the Bible out of the classroom. It used to be taught at public schools, the Bible, so that you knew your history. And then kind of Hollywood rose, and they sort of make fun of people that go to church. People that do go to church are having the word perverted in some ways, as we've covered extensively on this show. They made us think, essentially, that the Bible was a fairy tale, effectively blinding us all to the fact that it is very real. All of it is real. Angels, demons. Today's just going to be one of those.
You know, I hate when people say angels and demons aren't real because, dude, you can tell energy when you meet a person, right? Like if a person walks in the room, I can immediately feel the bad energy. If a person walks in the room or I'm talking to you, I can immediately feel the good energy coming off you, right? Angels and demons.
WTF episodes when I share with you the true story of what the heck we were doing in Iraq. We're Iraq. Let's go back. Let's go backward. Let's recap the Muggle edition of what we were told, okay? The Muggle edition goes like this. On September 11th, 2001, some super de-duper evil Muslims, known to most of us now as Israelis, hijacked some planes and drove them into the Pentagon, flew them into the Pentagon building, also the Twin Towers, and then Building 7 kind of got really emotional seeing his friends get hit and went ahead and just collapsed itself, right? By the way, I should mention that over at the Pentagon, that plane was also very unique. It apparently had no wings when it just, dove into the Pentagon. Some people said they heard a missile, but we won't ask questions. We're not here to debate those conspiracies.
We're not allowed to ask questions.
We were told that this was executed by the Saudis. They had hijacked the plane.
How can anyone believe in angels or demons? It's hard to get out of my head, or it's hard to get my head around that. Well, let me tell you. An angel or a demon doesn't have to have wings. An angel doesn't have to have wings, and a demon doesn't have to have horns. An angel is, say, a random person who pays for your food in front of you, or an angel is a random person, or even a person in your life that's a friend that you can go to that is always there, that's loyal, because loyalty is hard to find. An angel is what exhibits certain traits that is hard to find in regular people that are in the rat race. Angels are people who you are attracted to, not sexually or anything like that, but attracted to, mentally, how you can talk to them about anything, or how this random person just comes and does a good deed for you. I got angels all around my life. Demons are like my ex-baby mama who just want to cause hell all the time.
Did we know? Well, because one of them was kind enough as to conveniently drop off his passport on the sidewalk to make sure that we knew that it was them that was getting away with these super duper evil crimes. I'll remind you of that video very quickly about the passport being found.
Donna, when these buildings came crashing down on Tuesday, they sent debris showering in several blocks in every direction. And it was in one of those areas a couple of blocks away from the World Trade Center site, apparently where that passport was found. The FBI announcing that it has found the passport of one of the hijackers who was
God, just in 20-something years, look at how fucking different the quality is on TV. It is just so insane.
On board one of those two planes that hit the Twin Towers on Tuesday morning.
I mean, I was young. But for those of you that were not young and were grown adults, did you just accept that? I was a kid. That's my excuse, okay? I was in middle school. But for those of you that were not in middle school, did you just accept this? Those of you that had families, did you go watch the news and go, no, that makes sense. Yeah, the debris just from, we could not even find human remains.
Candace, okay, I love you, but that was a fucking pretty stupid question. When you're in middle school, I don't think you have that much, unless you're gifted, you don't have that much critical thinking to think, this could be an inside job. Like, I don't think middle schoolers are thinking that. Maybe their parents are.
But the debris just fell and fortunately flew away out the window. He just threw his passport. I have so many questions about that. But again, we're not here to relitigate 9/11. We know how we felt. We all gathered around.
Welcome in, Reefer.
Super bulky, big screen TVs.
Welcome in, Skippy.
And we were perhaps expecting.
Welcome in, Piper.
That as a result of this, we may indeed have to go to war with Saudi Arabia. That's what makes sense. They dropped the passports off for us to find and the debris. But that actually didn't happen. Oddly, we were told a couple of years later that we had to go to war with Iraq very quickly. Now, yesterday, I mentioned to you all the Epic of Gilgamesh of Uruk, understood to be actually the story of Nimrod in the Bible. He was a warrior who rebelled against God, Nimrod, and established his own kingdom in Mesopotamia and in Assyria. I'm showing you this map of that region so you can see where exactly we're speaking about. Kind of feels like where we're doing a lot of stuff right now, actually. Lebanon, Syria, and now we're talking about going into Iran. Well, I got an email yesterday from one of you, and I have to read it to you because I went, no way. I also got some other emails, but this one I'm going to read to you. Dear Candace, I never email people, but I watched your show today and felt led to send you this email you mentioned in your show about the Clintons wanting to find Gilgamesh's tomb. You need to look up the research that was done by Rob Skiba. They did find Gilgamesh, aka Nimrod. He was a giant. He was very well intact. Yes, we invaded just after he was found. The first place that we went during that war and set up a base was a museum. Not just any museum, the museum that held all of the relics for that. It also held all of the cuneiform tablets from Babylon and Gilgamesh and or Nimrod's tomb. They said that the museum was, quote, raided, and that they, the military, retrieved everything except for the tablets that had to do with reincarnating and bringing back the Nephilim, fallen angels, noted in Genesis 6. The Bible speaks of this. This is not a fantasy. This is a fact. They have to have Nimrod to bring the Antichrist forth. Please go watch Babylon Rising by Rob Skiba or read the book or his other work on this. He has done many videos and books and backs his work up and uses scripture too. He's not the only one that knows this and had vetted these things out. I pray, if you didn't already know this, that it helps you continue on your quest for truth. Now, that term...
For you guys who are talking about how you don't get notifications in the chat, I don't know why YouTube does that. But you guys know, I don't know what date or what time zone you're in. I'm in Central Time. So just know to be watching for me to go live around 9 to 9:30 Central Time. If I'm late, I'll update you with the short. Other than that, you guys know I'll be live around 9 to 9:30. Everyone that's new to the See Me Now channel and is just coming in, I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves or enjoying your day. God bless you guys. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here watching me. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button right above my head. Then go to the 3 dots on the top right corner, hit the like button and the notification bell so you can always be a part of every single live stream. And double tap that screen. Get those likes up, guys. Take your phone, double tap the screen, get the likes up. We only have 33 minutes within the first hour to reach 100 likes. We always try and hit 100 likes within the first hour.
Babylon Rising instantly flagged to me as interesting because as I've been speaking to you about what the elite practice and it's telling you that this goes back to the Sumerian tablets, Project Looking Glass. They freaked out when I discussed that. This idea of these occultists, Babylon Rising, the names of their books, this Babylonian magic, it's a theme that just keeps cropping up, whether you're referring to Aleister Crowley or Jack Parsons. So I went, wait a second. Because we never really did get an answer for what we were doing in Iraq, you know. The email happens to check out. Surely enough, back in 2002, a group of German geophysicists began making trips into modern-day Iraq to map out what they believed they had discovered, which was ancient Iraq that aligned with the ancient texts of Gilgamesh. I'm going to show you this headline because I honestly, this is like unbelievable. 2 German geophysicists, one named Georg Fassbinder and Helmut Becker, they were working for the Bavarian State Conservation Office in Munich, and they began using magnetic mapping to discover the old city. And suddenly they go, wait a second, this is his tomb. When exactly did they find it? We know for sure that it was sometime between May 2002 and very early 2003. They became convinced that indeed they had found the actual tomb of Gilgamesh, also, like I said, known as Nimrod in the Bible. This is within the exact timeline that we make a decision to invade Iraq. It's going to get even more insane. So it's February 5th, 2003. Colin Powell publicly states, rather notoriously now infamously states, that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction. He's holding up the anthrax. He's addressing the United Nations Security Council, okay? Then, that quickly, next month on March 20th, 2003, we invade Iraq. The public is informed a couple of weeks thereafter, the BBC.
What are your guys' thoughts on us invading Iraq? Especially not only about the oil, but now we're talking about ancient relics. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Send through your
State
chats.
Arm, that Fassbinder indeed had made the discovery of Gilgamesh's tomb. And conveniently, well, guess what our boys did? They were there. They happened to make their military base at that exact location. Like, this is just incredible. Colin Powell publicly states there's weapons of mass destruction during his address, and then bam, there we are on top of Babylon. Well, what exactly were we doing there? Other than, you know, the obligatory mass murdering, plundering ancient Christian civilizations and structures, like a million Iraqi civilians that were killed. That's a given. We just are always destroying Christian relics, but because we have to destroy history. They have to destroy history. But in retrospect, I have to say that I gotta stand for my boy Colin Powell looking into this, because I think he told the truth that they were indeed searching for weapons of mass destruction, but of a spiritual caliber, mass spiritual destruction. It is absolutely not a conspiracy. You can look us up yourself that we, like I told you, set up our military base, Camp Alpha, right on top of ancient Babylon. Our boys then began digging. They said that the reason that they chose this place was because they wanted to protect the site from looters. Except, I guess, the military guys got confused at the top. They accidentally started doing the looting. The instructions just weren't clear over there. This is actually a United Nations article published in 2009 when we had to confess our sins before the world. It reads in part, quote, Babylon was the capital city for two famous kings of antiquity, Hammurabi, who introduced one of the world's first law codes, and of course, Nebuchadnezzar. Partially excavated over the last century, much of ancient Babylon, which lies 90 kilometers south of Baghdad, remains undiscovered. Now, according to a 2005 British Museum report, the use of Babylon as a camp.
Come on, guys. We got 29 minutes left. Everybody double tap your screens and hit the subscribe button right above your head, man. Let's run it up. Let's try and hit 100 likes within the first hour. We try and do this every single day. We have 29 minutes left. Everybody just double tap your screen. Let's hit 100 likes. Let's go.
By a multinational force between April 2003 and December of 2004, by coalition forces is, quote, tantamount to establishing a military camp around the Great Pyramid in Egypt or the Stonehenge in Britain. Tells us later that Babylon was indeed plundered during the 2003 war when contents from Hammurabi and Nebuchadnezzar museums and from the Babylon Library and Archive were stolen and destroyed. Oh, well, did we just go to war because we wanted to go on an archaeological dig? And we actually weren't allowed to do that because it was discovered and it belonged to people in Iraq. So they were like, weapons of mass destruction. We're going to need to go there and set up camp and do some digging. Sure enough, that's what the local said they did. And they just transported things out of there. This is from NBC News. It tells us that a senior U.S. military officer has said that he's willing to apologize for damage that his troops caused in one of Iraq's most famous ancient sites.
Welcome in, Reg.
British Broadcasting Corp reported Friday that after the 2003 invasion of Iraq, U.S. Marines built a helicopter pad on the ruins of Babylon and filled their sandbags with archaeological fragments from the ancient city. It said vibrations from the U.S. helicopters caused the roof of one of the buildings to collapse. We were not there to protect ancient ruins. We were there to plunder and to loot and to steal. Right after we discover that Gilgamesh's tomb is in this city. Locals reported that at night Americans were digging and they were extracting in military operations. But to where? That's the question. Where did they take Nimrod's remains? Why do they want them? What do you guys think they're trying to do with Nimrod's body? Time for you guys to wake up. Really wake up and to understand that many of us are kind of coming out of a fog. Certainly me. Never forget who Nimrod was in the Bible, right? Nimrod was the original one world government guy seeking to unite humanity under the Tower of Babel, one system created in defiance of the creator. One world government. This
one world government, new world order.
Is why the mystery cults, they revere Nimrod. Freemasons revere Nimrod. In Masonic tradition, Nimrod is considered to be the first grand master, even before Solomon. I was telling you about that. This is all very real. It should shock you. We're probably like, was I a muggle? Yes, absolutely. And so people then dug up, and this got a bit confused, by the way. So I should clarify that there was this still never quite explained FOIA request that went through to the State Department requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body and the location of the buried Nephilim. Who are we talking about? Who are we speaking about when we refer to these people, the fallen angels? Guys, I am telling you, and this is not a part of Catholic canon, but you are allowed to read it, and you should read it. I read it on a plane. I don't even know what was going through my mind where I decided I needed to read the Book of Enoch. I think it is so important to read the Book of Enoch. Okay, to read about the fallen angels.
Yes.
That this is your real history.
The Anunnaki and all that. Yep, very important to read it.
I'm sorry to tell you guys, you're not a dinosaur. Okay, you weren't a dinosaur. You're not just like floating. Thank you, Katy Perry, but you're not like a plastic bag floating through the wind. I didn't really ever find that line to be relatable at all. I've never felt that way. This is all very real. And the elites have held on to this. They destroy history because they don't want you to know this. They envision a world like Nimrod, one world government. They are going to be the gods. You will have no sense of where you come from. You will have no sense of your history, and your souls will be completely perverted and corrupted.
A little bit of conspiracy theory for you. That's exactly why they're trying to make it so we mix colors so much, and we're trying to get rid of the white race and all this other stuff because they don't want us to know where we come from. They don't want us to know the exact origins of how we got here at all. They just want us to mix up so much and mix around so much that, hey, I don't even remember where the fuck my grandfather was from. Like, that's exactly what their goal is.
Yeah. That is what
allegedly. Again, I'm off my meds. I'm a comedian. Everything's a figment of my imagination. Don't believe anything I say.
Doing. So people always ask why I'm always so happy and so positive. How is it possible that the Epstein files can drop and I maintain a happy attitude? In the comments yesterday, I saw this of like, well, what do we do? What do we do now that we know this is real and they're practicing this? Well, you have to also consider the other thing. They're doing this because God is real. That I feel like that's like the best message ever. How could you not be happy recognizing that they are just betting against God like they always do? These people want to recreate Babylon. Okay, this is the story of Hollywood, Babylon. Read the books. They have always been obsessed with this. But who are they contending with? God. And I feel like many people, myself included, go through a period where you wonder, and that's intentional, of course, like I said, because they've stripped our true history. And we're not even where we're supposed to be. Like, we're in America. How did we get here? We know nothing about ourselves. And you go through this period where you question whether or not God's real. And I certainly thought, no. Well, coming out of high school, that's just like my grandparents were into that. That's the old world. We're the cool world. And then you get to an age and you get to a point where you recognize, oh yeah, God's definitely real. And we've been asleep. We've been the muggles. They know he's real. And you want to spell the end of this satanic reign?
Yeah, because there's a reason why they're trying to have a valid effort to do everything to go against the Bible, let alone act like the Bible is the script that they try to follow and execute their plans with. But yet again, they're still going against God and Jesus. Jesus is king. Jesus is the king of all kings, let alone the universe. God bless every single person who's coming in here. I appreciate every single person. 22 more minutes left in the first hour of the stream. Let's try and hit 100 likes, man. We just need 83 more beautiful people to just double tap their screens. We'll be at 100 likes. Hit that button above my head. Hit subscribe. We just hit 10K on Saturday. Let's try and hit 20K by the end of the month. God bless every single one of y'all.
Everything that they have been doing and the blood that they have been shedding, it's our awakening. It's our awareness. So you should be happy. You should be encouraged. This stuff shouldn't scare you. You should be happy to know that this isn't it. And the reason why they want people to be selfish, the reason why they want us to be atheist, why they have been so intentional about making sure they fill us with nonsense and junk and no sense of true history, why they protect the field of archaeology. They don't ever want us to be the ones to find something and learn something about history that's real. The reason that they're doing all that is because then they can get you.
Nikki, you're exactly right. They're afraid of us awakening, but guess what? We already are awakening. That's why the Podesta plan's in place. That's why they're freaking out. The elites are freaking out. They're putting in these freaking censorship deals with TikTok, NBC or CBS, all these people. Like, they're just scrambling right now.
To trade your soul. Like, if you really believe that all you had was 80 years and there was nothing else beyond this, like they want you to believe, then you would sell.
Yeah, to all the people who believe that when you die, you're just like, and it's all black. I'm sorry, but you got, I don't know. We may need to experiment with you, bring you back to life just to prove you wrong. Thank you, Joseph, for the subscription. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless.
Your soul to the devil for money. That's what a lot of people are doing. But when you suddenly go, oh wait, there's more. Actually, I'm a soul and I am an eternal soul. Then you go, okay, well, I'm not going to do a deal for.
Anyone who's taken psychedelics knows. Anyone who's taken psychedelics knows that this world and the universe is way bigger and stronger than we think. And for us little humans to think that we can manipulate anything is crazy. All these people that think that they can manipulate the universe are just bonkers.
$7,000 to support murdering children in Gaza. It's a happy message, I'm telling you guys. But read the book
Free
of Enoch if you have
Palestine.
not read it, and learn about the fallen angels. It is incredible. Learn about your true history. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you because I was just I can't believe that about Iraq. People asking, what's the obsession with Iran? What's suddenly the obsession with Greenland? I think a lot bigger. I don't know what the obsession is, but I'm inclined to think a lot bigger. We'll take a brief break before I tell you about some alibis that I think are maybe falling apart regarding September 10th. All right, you guys, one of the reasons that I have stayed with Nimi Skincare is that they make consistency really easy. There's so much noise around skincare, new launches, new routines, new promises.
Psychedelics are evil. I believe everyone needs to try a psychedelic in their life. Again, I'm not a doctor. Everything that comes out of my mind is a figment of my imagination. I'm just a comedian. But the way it humbles you and it gives you an ego death, and you realize that you are just a small part in this big universe, and you see everything and you think differently, and it opens up your mind into different worlds and dimensions. It just shows you that you're a small part. So all these politicians who think that they can sit here and manipulate the world, they're mistaken. We have 18 more minutes left, guys. Excuse me. 18 more minutes left, guys. We just need 79 more beautiful people to double tap that screen. Can we do it? Can we do it, guys? 18 minutes left. Let's try and hit 100 likes within 18 minutes.
And most of it just means it's just a new and prescription ivermectin health that's being potentially resurrecting Nimrod, which I totally believe, given this Babylonian magic theme of the occult and their rituals. It all correlates right there. And because I'm not, like I said, like a plastic bag flowing through the wind, and I'm now aware of history, and I believe in God, and I obviously know these people are satanic, it gives new meaning to this sort of military cult, because that is also a corollary that I have built. It's like constantly the military. So much involvement, even in the Charlie Kirk story, like just everywhere. I said, I don't know when Turning Point just became a literal military operation, but indeed it did. All these people with very strong ties to the military, his wife included, right? Her mother in particular. I want to speak about Erica's alibi on September 10th. And I'm going to put it out there that I do not believe it. I do not believe we are being told the truth regarding her alibi. I have, at least I can say, I guess the best way to say it is, I now officially have some serious questions pertaining to her alibi. And these question marks are really regarding her mother, Lori France Faye. I have been working through Erica's life, and when you start to do that and build a timeline, it inevitably leads you to her mother, who I believe is very shady. She has a number of LLCs, and when I say a number, I mean it's almost incalculable, the amount of LLCs, trying to figure out what exactly this does, the technology, connections from France to Arizona to Cincinnati to Massachusetts. And I realized something about her mother. First and foremost, I told you that when we met, that was the only time that I sensed very strong emotion from her was in mentioning her mother. But I do realize now that it seems to me to be an intentional effort to protect Erica's mother throughout this entire thing. Before, like, regarding even September 10th. Leading up to September 10th, Erica did something that it's unusual. It was unusual in terms of the manner in which Erica normally posts. She does not typically post her mother. She is private about her mother. She's always been very private about her mother, actually. If you ask people at Turning Point USA, they don't know her mother, despite the fact that her mother sits on the board of companies related to Turning Point USA, despite the fact that her mother is involved with sort of the geofencing and things of that nature. What is that specific company called? Superfeed Technologies. Despite the fact that her mother was, present next to Erica in 2015 when she was standing behind Trump, they don't know Erica's mother. Superfeed Technologies, Tyler Boyer knows her, but she kind of keeps her in.
15 minutes left, guys. We're trying to hit 100 likes within the first hour of the stream. We got 15 minutes left, guys. Everybody double tap that screen, hit the subscribe button.
In the background.
Welcome in,
so
Amy.
It was unusual, and I can tell you exactly how unusual. Erica had not posted anything about her mom since 2022. Then, despite the last post being in April of 2022 on Mother's Day, she did a post for her mother, I believe it was Mother's Day. Fast forward to 2025, and she moves on September 7th, just 3 days before Charlie dies. She doesn't just post her mother, she posts her mother in an incredibly vulnerable position. Her mother looks to be very sick. And she posts, I wanted to make sure that you were the first. And
Welcome
if you're
in,
looking
Nikki.
at this, you're glancing at this, it's a countdown of some description. And she says 10 days until September 16th. Now,
Welcome
we
in,
don't
Riz.
know what that 10-day countdown was pertaining to because obviously things changed. In fact, September 16th is actually when she hosted her first Zoom call with as the new CEO and chairman. But I'm sure there was some other plan that was there. Again, unusual even for people who are private on Instagram. I mean, even for people who are very public, sharing everything, who overshare on Instagram, you don't want to post someone in such a vulnerable position. Like, that's not how you want to use Instagram. This is not her and Charlie. When it comes to their private life, they're actually exceedingly private. You don't see photos of their children. So this was new. This was different. This was exceptional, I think is something that we can say. We fast forward just a few days to September 10th, and we learn, one of the people that told us this was the New York.
By the way, drop the Discord link. Today I will be having a Discord meeting with everybody after the stream. Thank you for who just subscribed. I missed it. I don't like missing people when they subscribe. Thank you to Amy for the subscription. God bless you. Welcome to the See Me Now family. We have 13 more minutes left, guys. We just need 72 more beautiful people to double tap that screen. We'll be at 100 likes within the first hour. Also, everybody hit that subscribe button right above my head. We just hit 10K on Saturday. We're trying to hit 20K before the end of the month. So everybody keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting, show some love and support, man.
Times that on September 10th, Erica was at the hospital while her mother was receiving treatments. Now, that hospital word came from the New York Times. It was not a direct quotation from Erica, but they said that she was in the hospital when Mikey McCoy called her. Erica in 2015, when she was standing behind Trump, they don't know Erica's mother. Superfree Technologies, Tyler Boyer knows her, but she kind of keeps her in the background. So it was unusual, and I can tell you exactly how unusual. Erica had not posted anything about her mom since 2022. Then, despite the last post being in April of 2022 on Mother's Day, she did a post for her mother, I believe it was Mother's Day. Fast forward to 2025, and she moves on September 7th, just 3 days before Charlie dies. She doesn't just post her mother, she posts her mother in an incredibly vulnerable position. Her mother looks to be very sick. And she posts, I wanted to make sure that you were the first. And if you're looking at this, you're glancing at this, it's a countdown of some description. And she says 10 days until September 16th. Now, we don't know what that...
Oh, my God. Skippy just dropped the Discord link. Everybody who's new to the channel, make sure you guys join the Discord. Join the Discord community. Show some love and support. I'm going to be talking to everybody on Discord after the stream, so we can talk about some things going on with the channel. Thank you to Jessica for the subscription. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless you. Everybody else who wants to subscribe, hit the button right above my head. Help me hit 20K before the end of the month. And we have 11 minutes left to hit 100 likes within the first hour of the stream. 70 more beautiful people just need to double tap that screen. God bless everybody.
10-day countdown was pertaining to because obviously things changed. In fact, September 16th is actually when she hosted her first Zoom call with as the new CEO and chairman. But I'm sure there was some other plan that was there. Again, unusual even for people who are private on Instagram. I mean, even for people who are very public, sharing everything, who overshare on Instagram. You don't want to post someone in such a vulnerable position. Like, that's not how you want to use Instagram. This is not her and Charlie. When it comes to their private life, they're actually exceedingly private. You don't see photos of their children. So this was new. This was different. This was exceptional, I think is something that we can say. We fast forward just a few days to September 10th, and we learn, one of the people that told us this was the New York Times, that on September 10th, Erica was at the hospital while her mother was receiving treatments. Now, that hospital word came from the New York Times. It was not a direct quotation from Erica, but they said that she was in the hospital when Mikey McCoy called her, quote unquote, within seconds. We later learned that actually that phone call did not come in within seconds. Actually, Mikey called his wife first. So much for that training that Charlie allegedly gave him. You know, this is what you do immediately. Walk away and call your wife and then call Erica 3 minutes later, 3+ minutes later, and then add Erica to the line while your wife is on the phone. I'm not really buying that, but okay. We know that they had a very brief call, a couple of minutes, and then we are told that she left her mother, who was receiving a medical treatment, and then she collapsed in the parking lot. Now, I got suddenly interested in this narrative for a couple of reasons, all because I then realized her mother was used again in an alibi when I was contacting Justin Strife, trying to figure out what Erica was doing on September 8th, just wanting some sort of an alibi, and it kept getting delayed, and I was told that her mother was very, very sick, and that was the reason why, and that she was spending her days in the hospital with her mother. I can confirm that the message that he sent me, certainly the lighting does not look like she is in a hospital. It looks like she's where she is there, which is at her apartment building. And also what I can now confirm to you for a fact is that the mother was receiving treatment not at a hospital, but at a sort of holistic clinic, if you will. And again, this is one of those situations where you go, you wouldn't normally speak about the health of somebody's mother, but you're putting us in the casket with Charlie. We have a right to ask where he's buried. You're going to put us in this very vulnerable position with your mother. I guess it's okay for us to discuss your mother's illnesses because this was a post, right? I would never, ever, ever, ever post this. I find that to be, again, I also wouldn't post somebody.
Yeah, see, I just never understand people who want to post absolutely everything on social media. Like when I'm with my kids and we're having a fun time, yeah, I might whip out my phone and take 2 pictures. But the best feeling is just to have a good time with your family, put the technology away, and just have the good time. Because the memories up here are way more important than the memories on your phone, okay? The memories on your phone are going to go away. But the memories up here are here to stay.
In a casket, but different strokes for different folks. What is interesting to me is I have known for a while, she's not lying about her mother having Lyme disease. That's what her mother has. I know this because I talked to Charlie about this. Charlie, once upon a time, he and I spoke extensively about how he was flying out her mother to do treatments for Lyme disease overseas because there was better treatment in Europe, options available. Bella Hadid posts a lot about this. Her, and I think her brother as well, have Lyme disease, and she does sometimes. She goes overseas and she posts about different medical treatments that they have available in Europe. So I was aware that her mother had Lyme disease. That totally passed the test for me. But I think the reason why we were sort of given this kind of nondescript thing and we were led to believe that she was in a hospital was because then you wouldn't ask the next natural question.
It'll just be like we'll see how it goes, but we're going to have a little talk in the Discord all for the community, so.
Question, which is why didn't she go with
66 more beautiful people just need to double tap that screen. Guys, we have 6 minutes left. We have 6 minutes left. We just need 66 more beautiful people to double tap the screen to get us to 100 likes within the first hour of the stream. You guys got me for 4 hours. Okay? Help me reach 100 likes. 6 minutes left. We need 66 more beautiful people to double tap that screen. Let's go.
Or to Utah. Like you're with your mom when you hit the news. Why not instantly go with your daughter to Utah? So we were led to believe that she was in a condition where she could not do this. I find that to be interesting, especially because I have learned, and I believe this is accurate, that on September 8th, we can pull up the timeline here, that Charlie took Erica's mother for a treatment for Lyme disease at a clinic. I have the address, the name of the clinic. I'm not going to be publishing that because I don't think that that's relevant at this time. But it makes September 8th really interesting because I am told that these treatments, and again, these are holistic treatments that you can go to at a center. There's all sorts of things that you can get done now for Lyme disease and other diseases. I am told that these treatments last between 1 to 2 hours, okay? 1 on the short end, then up to 2 hours. And Yeah, you could if you wanted to get an intense treatment on the 8th, followed by on the 10th, 2 days later. So I don't need to question that narrative. But I am starting to look at Charlie's schedule because Charlie came back from Korea and Tokyo, his trip, very late, almost early morning on September 8th, very late on the 7th. We know when he landed into California and then continued on to Arizona. So I'm assuming he slept. And then we know that he's at home when he appears in his home studio for the Charlie Kirk show. He does not go to the office on this day, and we're going to have to fit him into taking Lori to a treatment center. This also makes me think, as I had mentioned the other day, that Erica was not around on the 8th because of Frank Turek's statement, where he says Charlie was dealing with the kids. I can't find a single person in this complex that they live that can verify that they saw Erica on this day. And they know her. They verified they saw her on the 9th, right? They didn't see her on the 8th. Okay, now we have Charlie. Why would Charlie go? Okay, she says they were super close. I would assume that if Erica was available, Erica might have taken her to this treatment, right? This 1 to 2 hour treatment. And it puts us in this window of, if we account for driving time, this treatment having to have taken place between 12 and
3 minutes left, guys. 3 minutes left. We just need 59 more beautiful people to like the video, and we'll be at 100 likes within the first hour. 3 minutes left, y'all.
and 3:30. And if it's a long treatment, this is the gap that we're putting this in, because otherwise it's not possible. We have everything else put into this timeline, and these things again are verifiable. Again, that Erica says that she made Charlie dinner. That has been the alibi for Fort Huachuca. I have questions about that. I have a lot of questions about that particular timeline and whether or not she was indeed at home making him dinner. It is pointing to the possibility that Erica was just not there on the 8th at all. And the way in which her mother was again used to sort of guilt us away from asking questions. When I was asking her for Huachuca, she's with her mom, until she then popped up, which she wouldn't have had this happen. And then I texted and I said, you told me that she's like not available at all because she's with her mom and her mom's like in a hospital, but she's actually at a basketball game because a fan caught Erica at a basketball game. And then it was like, oh yeah. Was it a football game, Skylar? A football game. And then it was like, oh, okay. You've been asking for this Fort Huachuca thing, blah, blah, blah. And then they gave me something that I didn't ask for. Maybe I wasn't clear. But across weeks, I'm just trying to get a basic alibi for September 8th. And I'm just kind of getting pushed around. And then finally they give me something, and a couple of days later, they send me a cease and desist, and they mention Fort Huachuca. I have questions. I think that we were being emotionally manipulated not to ask questions about her mother, who, if she is extraordinarily sick, and I'm not doubting, and like I said, I know that she has Lyme disease. That's a fact. And I know that there are varying levels and stages of Lyme disease as a fact. I'm not doubting any of that. I am saying that I feel we have been intentionally given that story so that nobody could possibly touch it. Like that post there, to me, feels a little bit manipulative.
No, you're good, Skippy. Do what you gotta do.
If I can't explain it, it's not her usual posting. She doesn't post that kind of stuff. It's similar to the Charlie in the casket, right? And then suddenly like, can I have anything for myself when people ask a question like, hey, actually, where did you bury him? And then suddenly it's like, how dare you intrude upon where Charlie's body is? What will you literally put us in the casket with like your chief fundraiser person to make money? So we're only allowed to ask questions if money is going to be made. I don't think it works like that.
I will give $10 right now to ask if she's a part of Mossad.
It doesn't work like that, actually. So I just wanted to raise that and I have some more leads that I'm going to prod, but I'm going to put out there that I am having trouble confirming this story. And I'm wondering why that is. So if you have information, and I do know the names of 2 different clinics, by the way, because they were 2 different clinics, the one on the 10th versus the one on the 8th. If you have any information, please email us more tips at CandaceOwens.com as we begin to put the pieces together in what may be a slippery alibi. It could be people were told what to say, what to do, people were at certain places, but something is not right. Something is really not right. We're going to get to the truth. We will get to the truth. Christ is king, as we say. And it's a perfect time for me to announce, by the way, that I will be speaking. I actually have not spoken in a while publicly. I've been working on my podcast because I was at war with Zionists. But I will be speaking at
I was at war with Zionists.
The Catholics for Catholics conference on March 19th in Washington, D.C. The reason I haven't spoken in well over a year was, first and foremost, I was supposed to go on that tour in Australia, but I got blocked by the Zionist lobby of Australia. I was supposed to be on tour with Charlie before he died, but I got blocked by Zionists here in America. And so it is a refreshing and a good thing that the Catholic Church is standing apart from that sort of political influence.
Gotta keep getting hot and cold, guys.
It doesn't have a place there. Doesn't have a place there. If you are Catholic, or even if you are Catholic curious, I would love for you guys to be there. You can visit CFORC, so c4c.com/prayer, and you will save $100 off your purchase if you use code Candace at checkout. C4C, that stands for Catholics for Catholics.com/prayer. And the code is valid until Valentine's Day. And here is Johnny Yep. There's a lot I could say here, but I'm probably going to save it for the stage of how I got involved with Catholics for Catholics. There's just so much. I see a lot of God in it, but here's Johnny Yep's announcement.
We just need 53 more beautiful people to double tap that screen, and we'll be at 100 likes. I appreciate all you guys running up today. God bless. I have the best community on YouTube. I stand by that. Anyone that's new to the See Me Now channel, make sure you guys hit that button above my head and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 20,000 before the end of the month, y'all. Let's see how far we can run it up. Let's see how far we can run it up. Let's prove the haters wrong. Let's go. I'm in menopause.
For warriors, men and women ready to risk it all in the pursuit of truth. Just 48 hours before my friend Charlie Kirk was shot, in spite of the fierce pushback, he made known his intention to have Candace speak at his own signature event. With this in mind, and with a nod to my friend Charlie, Catholics for Catholics is honored to announce that Candace Owens will be joining us as one of the keynote speakers at our National Catholic Prayer for America Gala in Washington, D.C. on March 19th.
Dude, the one thing that makes me worry is that it's Washington, D.C. Like, I hope she has security, and I hope she's being very careful, because it seems very sketchy that she's speaking in Washington, D.C., one of the most corrupt places ever. Like, let's not have another CIA asset travel from across the country to, do anything to Candace, God forbid.
To become a student of history is to become a Catholic.
Charlie predicted that one day, when he himself would die young, that Candace would become a David to fight for America. She will give a testimony on how her faith in Christ has given her the courage to fight the Goliaths of this anti-Christian world.
It has forever been a holy war that is being waged against goodness.
Get your tickets now at c4c.com. See you there. Christ is King.
Again, a lot there. I'll probably share more of it on stage, but Johnny randomly visited me. I call him Johnny Yep because it just feels like it should be said together. Johnny Yep randomly visited me the week before when I was just in this spell and sensed that danger was coming. He came down, pushed through the algorithm, people make videos. Sometimes it's not even a mistake.
Let's see what.
This is an idiot.
Let's see what Ben said.
And the snow is not melting. It's 32 degrees here in Nashville. And they're like, she's an idiot. She doesn't understand. That snow doesn't melt. Anyway, you're going to watch Ben Shapiro because this is their new thing. Candace is an idiot.
All right, guys, get ready. Get ready for your ears to bleed. We got to hear Ben Shapiro
ask himself a question so he can answer it. And also, of course, make fun of a dream and make it kind of weird when I said that, described it as a chessboard. Take a listen.
Did I hear that Candace said on her show she had dreams about playing Hogwarts chess with you? That's the okay now. All right. Well, that's weird. It's a little bit weird. I mean, I guess that's pronounced what-eared or what-eared. Wait. Should I pronounce? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should have a discussion about the temperature at which ice freezes. Or maybe we can talk about various German terms and their proper pronunciation, like Blitzkrieg. I will freely admit that I did make a few jokes around the office about other Nazi breakfast foods besides Blitzkriegs, which may include Luftwaffles. Candace also interviewed Bassem Youssef and told him she thinks something bad happened in your childhood because you fixate and lack empathy. Man, so much projection. Oh my goodness. What? Yeah, sure. All right, whatever, man. Whatever.
I just want
Well, that was just interesting. Like, that was the most boring clip I've ever
to
watched.
acknowledge the fact that he watches every minute of this. Like, just own it. You're a Standis. You have every single Standis cup. It's just amazing. And this new push of Candace is an idiot. If I'm an idiot, you should try it. You might have a successful company. Like, if I am an idiot, Ben, you should try it. And I love that it's kind of their natural route too, because like when you start to learn like the real.
I feel like that's why I'm getting successful on YouTube too, is because like you guys all know I'm an idiot, but I'm smart, but I'm an idiot, and I'm a little bit funny. And that's kind of like the holy trinity, to be like funny, kind of smart, but kind of dumb. You know, it's like the best way to have a YouTube channel ran.
History behind the slave trade. Penny boy, I'm ignorant, but not that ignorant. And you know he just so badly just wants to hard R it. Like he's like that. They're at the point now where they're like, how could we basically just like call her the N-word, but like not fall into like just saying the N-word? Like I don't want to be Nick Fuentes, but like Ben, I'm gonna give you an N-word pass. Just say it. Just get it off your chest. You'll get that. That's what it means, right? Like an ignorant black person. Stop having people scroll through every second of my show trying to find me mispronouncing words or I'm sorry, I don't speak German. Blitzkrieg. Just get it off your chest, Ben. Just hard R it. That's what you're feeling right now. He hates you with a passion. He has been watching every minute of the show since I left the Daily Wire. That was actually Alyssa's job when back when Jeremy was there. They used to keep a file and then they would send it around.
Yeah, Candace is hot, bro. Like I cannot believe she's 36. Because I would definitely, yeah, never mind. I got to be quiet.
Around to all of their influencers of clips of the show and taking me out of context and then trying to make it go viral, whether it was calling me an idiot or trying to pretend that I was like the worst anti-Semite ever because I brought up something that's, you know, true about Israel or its history. They pay people to do this. I just want to give him the N-word pass. Just like get it off your chest, man. I know you hate me with a burning passion, but like it's gotten to a point now where it's not really hate and it's kind of, you know, we don't know, but we know. You're on stage saying catchphrases from the show. You're a fan. You like it. It's fine. All right, we'll be right back after a quick break. All right, you guys, let's be honest. Getting all of your daily fruits and vegetables is not always easy. Life gets busy. Meals get rushed. For a year, join the book club, you guys. You're like, we're so deep on this and it's all kind of happening right now. And it is kind of amazing that we've been calling it and speaking about these things and it was very taboo and now everyone's speaking about it. Even the guy that, what's his name that played, I'm blanking on his name. I'm so bad with actor names. He played Hercules. He tweeted that that's why he left Hollywood. He was like, they were just all a bunch of pedos. Kevin Sorbo, that's right. I used to watch him all the time in Hercules, but he's like, yeah, that's the very reason that I left Hollywood. He tweeted that yesterday and it's all kind of coming out and it's no longer a taboo subject. It's actually what they are doing is a Babylonian taboo, so to speak. The top comment from yesterday's episode, by the way, is why is Erica lying to the only person trying to find who killed her husband? It's a question that needs answering, in my opinion. That is what is striking me as odd. As soon as I recognized the first lie and I just saw that lie through and through, I was like, nope. I actually, to be honest, the first thing I clocked was letting people that your husband didn't like into your zone right after he died. Like whether it's New York Times, whether it's allowing them to buy slots to speak, that to me didn't feel natural. Like AmFest is for me when things just started fraying very badly. And I went, what are we actually looking at here? What's happening? You might know something. You can message me. more tips. You can send us an email, moretips@candaceowens.com. All right, let's get to some of your comments for today's episode. Let me scroll here to the bottom. Arielus writes, about the Zooms, I don't understand why Erica kept saying we need to stay humble. Like if my husband was murdered, that is not something I would need to repeat over and over to myself. Weird. Yeah, I also don't.
All right, let's get off this, bro. I don't care about all the comments that are being read. Let me show. Well, actually, let's go into. Where was it, bro? We'll watch this first.
Is the FBI Director Kash Patel. Mr. Director, thanks for being here.
Great to be with you, Brett.
I want to talk about those stats. I want to talk about all of the efforts that you're doing. I'd like to do a lightning round of other topics that we're covering.
By the way, guys,
first of all, we just heard that report.
By the way, guys, if you're new to the stream or you're new to the See Me Now channel, join the See Me Now army by hitting the dot or the button above my head. Some people say it's red, some people say it's white. I don't really know. But just make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Help me hit 20K before the end of the month, man. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're going to get that silver plaque, man. Double tap that screen. We got 49 more people that just need to double tap that screen until we hit 100 likes. Let's move into the Epstein stuff. The stuff that is coming out is revolting. Like, just makes me want to damn right puke, okay? Now, while we're watching this stuff, if you have any comments that you want to be read, send through your super chats. It doesn't matter what color. It has to be $1 and above. It has to be, I think, at $2. You can't say anything when you super chat $1. But any super chat, get your name written on the wall. But while we're watching this, so I can give good commentary, the only comments I'm going to read are the super chats because they pop out to me in the comments, and it also helps the channel grow. So God bless everybody. Rolling Waters, thank you for the subscription. God bless you. Everybody hit that subscribe button, man. Help me hit 20K before the end of the month. Show some love and support. Double tap that screen. Get those likes up. And, yeah, show some love and support, man.
Report out of Arizona about Nancy Guthrie. You all are involved in that case. Is that correct?
Yeah. Brett, with any missing persons, what you want to do is what the sheriff said. Find them and put all law enforcement on that X. And the sheriff and the state and local authorities are leading that effort, and the FBI has provided all resources requested and will continue to do so.
There was a report today that TMZ received a ransom note. Are you aware of that? Or
the local authorities notified the FBI of it, and we are working with them in any manner they choose. But remember, they're the lead right now, and we have to respect that, but we are there to help them in any way we can, on ransom notes or otherwise.
Yeah, the sheriff got to, we believe she was taken from the home, and you're assisting them in their efforts.
Absolutely. We're on the ground there with them.
Okay, I want to talk to something that raised some eyebrows, and that's the FBI in this Fulton County election case and taking ballots from that office down there. Can you tell us about that, paint the picture about what that is about?
Absolutely. Look, from the FBI perspective and our partners at DOJ, we did the same thing there we do in any criminal case or investigation. We
redact all files. That's what you do?
Collected evidence. We presented that evidence to a federal magistrate judge who made a finding of probable cause and said, here's your search warrant. Here are the parameters of that search warrant. And what you saw play out last week was the execution of that search warrant, just like we would do anywhere else. The target of that search warrant was a warehouse down in Fulton County. Federal agents from the FBI went down there and followed the parameters of the search warrant and secured the evidence. And from there, we maintain the chain of custody and do what we always do, which is to follow the evidence.
But the probable cause is that there was a crime in the election tabulation.
So the probable cause is still in the search warrant, which is under seal, so I'm not able to discuss that.
All right, but let me talk about this other element of it, and that is the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. New York Times writes this: Mrs. Gabbard used her cell phone to call President Trump, who did not initially pick up and then called back shortly after. The president addressed the agents, the FBI agents, on the speakerphone, asking them questions as well as praising and thanking them for their work on the inquiry. One U.S. official said the president gave no substantive direction to the investigators. Unusual for a president to get involved on the agent level. Paint the picture there.
Sure. The one thing I think that many, if not every FBI agent and personnel and law enforcement across the country love about this president is that he backs them. He backs the blue, he gives them resources, and he's always congratulatory of their efforts. And so to hear from the commander-in-chief for my troops on the ground there was a pretty cool thing. And we were pleased to hear the president come in and say, thank you for what you're doing. That is maybe unusual from prior administrations, but I take it every chance I get to thank the men and women in law enforcement.
And Director Gabbard put out...
Dude, could you guys imagine, like there being like a big investigation into trafficking. And could you imagine, like, I mean, tell me what you guys think in the chat. I doubt, like, actually, I know he wouldn't. I know he wouldn't. But could you even imagine Kash Patel unholstering his weapon, getting ready to kick down a door to save a life? I mean, dude, this guy is just a fucking desk jockey.
A statement saying that she accompanied the FBI Deputy Director Bailey and the acting special agent down there to oversee this search warrant. But this doesn't suggest that there is some international element to this?
All I can speak to is the FBI and the DOJ, and what we are doing is following the predicate laid out in the search warrant, and we are executing that. And President Trump has assembled a tremendous cabinet, the DNI and everyone else, and we collect information from our interagency when the investigation follows that path. And so we're happy to have a team of professionals involved.
Bouncing around, the Epstein files, the last tranche, we're told, put out. Looking back since the beginning, and you've been a part of talking about this, and DOJ has obviously produced these elements, do you have regrets about how it's been handled?
Look, like any other hot topic issue, the American public and the world had a great interest in this. And what we did under President Trump's leadership is produce the most transparent DOJ and FBI in history. 3 other administrations had the opportunity to do this, and we produced everything we legally and lawfully could. We worked with our partners in Congress, we followed the statutes and the court orders, and we produced, 3 million some pages? So I think we got to the result in the right way. Could we have gotten there faster? I'm not really sure because of numerous court cases, multiple protective orders, multiple court sealings. And so now we've produced everything we can while protecting victims' rights and following the law.
Do you think that it gets to some place? Does it get to some kind of charges that we don't yet know about?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. This FBI, as we'll talk about shortly, has done a record year in protecting and going after those that prey on children and sex traffic. And we have always said, as the Attorney General has always said, if there's any facts or any information about an ongoing matter, please let us know. We will fully investigate it. But I want to remind your audience, the materials that were released were from search warrants from 2007, 8, and earlier. And they were strictly confined to certain parameters by those that ran the investigation then. So that's what was collected. We, and not just my FBI, 3 other FBIs have looked into that material to see if there's any leads to produce.
3 other FBIs? There's more than one FBI? Oh, don't tell me there's more than one CIA, too.
Any investigatory leads to prosecute anyone. And we have exhausted that, but we are always open to new information based on the release.
You told me when we last talked, this is 8 months ago when we did an interview at the FBI in Quantico, that you were convinced that Epstein killed himself in jail. Today, 8 months after that, are you still convinced?
Yes.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, dude. Kash Patel's lies are big, but he stands at 4'6", man. Oh, my God. We just need 44 more beautiful people to double tap your screen so we can get to 100 likes, man. Help me run it up. Help me get in the algorithm. We are on the road to 20,000 subs before the end of the month, man. So hit that subscribe button right above my head. Join the family. You're not going to regret it.
Let me bring you to Minnesota. There's the fallout from Minnesota, everything that's being looked at. It's obviously not in your department, but you commented on this about the firearm
Sorry, I'm just so tired.
aspect of this and protest. Take a listen.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that.
Yes, you can. It's called the Second Amendment. It's called the Constitution. The problem that Petty made was any person that has a CCW, that has a concealed weapon permit, that has even ammo on him, knows not to involve themselves with any sort of problem at all to where it can escalate. Matter of fact, you need to separate yourself and distance yourself from that problem rather than involve yourself and kick a fucking taillight off of an ICE agent's van. Anyone who owns a gun knows that he should have not been doing what he was doing. I mean, seriously.
Simple. You don't have that right to break the law and incite violence.
So that got some response.
Sure.
U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, said this over the weekend.
You bring a gun into the district, you mark my words, you're going to jail. I don't care if you have a license in another district, and I don't care if you're a law-abiding gun owner somewhere else. You bring a gun into this district, count on going to jail, and hope you get the gun back.
100% open your eyes. You're 100% right.
People are concerned about something I said yesterday, so I want to be crystal clear. I am a proud supporter of the Second Amendment.
So all these gun rights advocates and supporters are saying, wait a second, what are you guys telecasting here?
Well, I'm glad you played the entirety of the clip because mostly nobody did that.
Exactly.
I said you cannot bring a firearm to a public protest and incite violence. That's the kicker. President Trump's administration is the most pro-Second Amendment administration in history. All we are saying is, one, it's a question of law. Did you incite violence or commit another crime while in possession of a firearm? And if that's the case, then we're going to investigate you. But the other question is a prudential one. Should you be bringing firearms? That's not a decision for the FBI to places where people are protesting. That's a prudential decision. We will follow the facts and the law.
Okay, two more quick things. The Charlie Kirk shooter, the trial is ongoing. They're starting the process. It's going slowly. Even the widow, Erica Kirk, has been upset about that speed. Are you convinced, seeing what you've seen, that this one shooter is the one guy?
Well, I got to be careful on comment on the evidence. As you know, it's a state court proceeding. It's a state murder charge. And as you know, you've covered this longer than everybody else. Those take a long time, if not years, to adjudicate a murder case. And that's what's going on. My job at the FBI is to ensure that they have the evidence that they need from my agents that were on the ground that collected it, and we provided it to them, and we will continue to work with them and take our direction from the state prosecutors. At the end of the day, Charlie was my friend, a dear, dear friend. The worst thing that could happen is we somehow taint the evidence of the jury pool by making a statement or commenting and stylizing.
Yeah, he's your dear, dear friend, but yet you do not investigate no leads that go anywhere foreign. You don't investigate any other leads that anybody else has brought up, let alone the fact, that you. I hate when people call people their friends and then do everything in their power not to do something a friend would do. That's all I'm going to say.
The evidence, and that ends up in a mistrial or even an acquittal. So what I'm guarding against is that, and we will continue to provide support.
All right, well, let me take you to a different shooter, and that is the Butler shooter. I asked you about this at Quantico. Take a listen. Will we know a lot more about him? Is there more to know?
I don't know that there's more to know, but you're going to know everything we know. And we don't feel that the American people have been given the information they need on that. And we're digging through the files, and we're getting them a more robust picture of what happened.
So that was May 2025. I mean, I don't think we, the public, have a more robust picture of that shooter.
Well, I think that's...
Guys, there's trolls in the chat, so, like, I'm not reading any chats unless it's a super chat. I don't care how high it is. I do have a 10 super chat goal of $10 and above, so if you want to help me reach my super chat goal of 10 super chats, $10 and above, that's cool. But if you have something to say, super chat it. I don't care what color, just super chat so I can see it, because if you're going to troll, you're going to pay to troll, okay? That's just how it's going to work. And if you're not a troll, send through your super chat so I can read it. I'm trying to pay attention to this, react to this, and the chat is moving fast. You want to see how fast the chat's moving for me? Yeah, there you go. There's how fast it's moving for me. Hard for me to keep up when the chat's moving that quick.
An unfair supposition. We, the FBI, have put out all the information that we possibly and legally can while protecting any ongoing matters that are unrelated.
But he's dead.
Well, yes, he's very much dead. But at the same time, Brett, we at the FBI have to follow the parameters of our investigation and what the law allows us to release.
Dude, Tucker Carlson released more evidence and found more evidence and, like, put more shit together than you did, Kash Patel. I mean, you can go watch the Tucker Carlson documentary he did on him, and you'll find out way more about Thomas Crooks on there than you would have ever found out from the FBI.
I get it, but you know, what were the cell phones? Why don't we know who he was talking to? You know, what exactly happened? I feel like we haven't gotten...
This reporter right here, he is doing a good job at pushing Kash Patel and trying to get answers out of him.
The whole picture about Butler, even now.
But here's the thing, Brett. We can provide, and just an example here. We've provided 40,000 pages of documents to Congress. That's a 400% increase from the prior two directors. We will continue to provide this information with our partners on Capitol Hill when we are legally able. It's never going to be enough for everyone. It's never going to be enough. But what we are saying is, we're not saying trust us. We're saying we did an exhaustive search of that. We presented that information to the department.
You're not saying trust you. The main thing you should be saying is, we're trying to restore trust. We're not saying trust us, guys. We're just saying we did an investigation. We're not saying trust us. What the fuck?
Of Justice, and a decision was made on what to release.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, you said we put out everything we could. Do you think that everything
You're good, Stacy. Drive safe.
Been put out about Eric Crumps, the shooter, alleged shooter? In
Everything.
the
It's, whether it's Epstein or Charlie Kirk, or whether it's this shooter in Butler, we always put out what the law permits us to put out.
Last thing, this has happened this weekend. In Las Vegas, law enforcement, including the FBI, removed more than 1,000 suspected biological agents from a house linked to the man accused of operating an underground biolab in California several years ago. That man has been locked up ever since awaiting trial in April. So if that Chinese national has been behind bars for the past 3 years, how is it just now authorities are raiding this Las Vegas house?
Well, I think that's a great question. What this FBI did was went back and looked at a report that my predecessor went to Capitol Hill and said there's no connection to China. I found that unbelievable or implausible. So that is a state-run investigation right now in the state of Nevada. And where the FBI comes in is...
Again, I'm off my meds. I'm an idiot. Everything I say is a figment of my imagination. But this sure sounds like a setup to blame some sort of country for something right now. Like, this is 3 months later, or 3 years, I can't remember. 3 years later, this guy's been in prison. His house hasn't been foreclosed, or there hasn't been nothing going on with the crib he owns. You know, he's in prison for probably life, and now they find all this stuff. Yeah, it sure seems like you're probably, trying to put on a show for something, allegedly.
Say, wait a second, we have information that we believe disputes the prior testimony of Director Wray. And so we went back to our law enforcement partners and say, hey, we got to look at this again. And that's why you're seeing these state warrants executed. And that's why you're seeing these seizures. And the FBI is collecting that evidence and taking it to our labs for further analysis.
It was announced that one man, a property manager, was charged with some minor local offenses. Wouldn't keeping 1,000 biological agents in a house be a federal offense?
Well, that's just the thing, right?
What are the biological agents? Like, is it nut? Was he just saving his after nut? What's the biological agent? Tell me, Cash. Why is this reporter not being a good? See, this is why I think I would be the best reporter, because I would be like, well, what's the biological agent? What is it? 1,000 biological agents, but they're not going to tell you not one thing, not one agent it is. Fuck, a biological agent could be urine.
This state warrant was just executed.
Blood.
Within the last 48 hours, right? What we have to do is take these 1,000 samples, ship them across the country, which we did overnight, and have our lab analyze them. And once we have those results, then we can produce further charges.
Obviously, people look at that and say, is the CCP operating other biolabs in our country?
And look at what this FBI has done.
Dude, China is buying up a lot of... Oh my God! China is buying up a lot of land within the United States, a lot of houses, like all the real estate that they're buying. What do you think they're doing in it? There's been so many reports of, Chinese has been buying up these houses, or in New York, buying up these levels of these apartment complexes, and they're just always empty. They use them to store money. They use them to do this. They use them to do that. And China's not the only country who does it.
They arrested 3 researchers at the University of Michigan with ties to the CCP for bringing in...
They did post what they found, Chloe. Ebola, COVID, SARS, etc. How the fuck do you get Ebola, COVID, and SARS in a goddamn container without anybody getting it? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. How the fuck do you get Ebola, COVID, and SARS in a container? In 1,000 of them. So what? They were planning just to have one day they just go fucking throw Ebola and SARS and fucking, COVID around to spread it, and now there's a pandemic. Oh, pandemic. Oh, pandemic. Oh, fuck.
Biologicals and for trying to harm our agricultural seed industry.
But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that, brother.
That is the priority here to protecting our nation's not just secrets, but our agriculture and our citizens' health.
The year-end stats: 20% decrease in nationwide murder rate, 100% increase in arrests year over year, 31% increase in kilograms of fentanyl seized, 210% increase.
I have not done any research on it. I mean, I will probably after this, but what? You know what I mean? Like, I can do the research, I can see what they tell me, but I think past that, right? I think past that. I think like, well, why 1,000 containers? And if they did throw some, it's like, dude, if they wanted to, like, if any country wanted to start a biological warfare situation, like, you know, start spreading Ebola, start spreading COVID, all this other stuff, they wouldn't do it by having a fucking property with 1,000 jars in it and having 2 people go throw them at people. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like the biological warfare that they would fight would be so different. You know what I mean?
In gangs and criminal enterprises.
Yeah, send me the links. Send me the links.
Enterprises disrupted.
I mean, that is the historic year in the 117 years of the FBI's history. If you took just one of those stats and accomplished it in 1 year, it would be a monumental feat. And that is a commitment from President Trump to back law enforcement. What we did, we put 1,000 agents into the field last year. We're going to send 1,000 more employees to the field permanently this year so they can get after it for the American people. I mean, just think about what's in those numbers. 20% less murders. Just think about that. We have a 500% increase in those predators online that prey upon our children. We've seized enough fentanyl to kill 140 million Americans. That's just the FBI alone. And as you said, we have doubled the number of violent offender arrests in 1 year under President Trump. And that is just the beginning of it.
Well, Mr. Director, we appreciate the time. It's
I see what you're saying, bro. You know, and like I said, I didn't do my research, but my thing is this: like, there was a Chinese guy arrested. 3 years later, one of his properties is seized or raided. In the basement, they find all these agents. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, to me, if they're going to want to start a biological war, it's going to be through, like, how COVID started, or a different way when it comes to just, like, you know what I mean? Infiltrating the United States and fucking doing whatever. I don't know. But, yeah.
So there is a new name emerging in the millions of pages related to the Jeffrey Epstein saga that are being released by the Department
Dude, this Jeffrey Epstein stuff is fucking crazy.
of Justice. But this is a name you probably haven't heard before. Karina Shuliak. Now, she's not a victim. She's not a co-conspirator. Her name surfaces instead in Epstein's final phone call from jail in an apparent secret trust signed just 2 days before he died. One that was set to give her essentially a huge portion of his fortune and his properties and a diamond ring. Who is she? What do these documents reveal?
Dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. We found the next Ghislaine, bro. This is the next Ghislaine. Dude, we need to watch the next guy that she gets with. We need to watch the next guy that this girl gets with. Because whoever this girl gets with, we need to do a background check on him and everything else. I feel like he's given all of his stuff to her. He ended up knowing his mission was done. He allegedly, and he's given all of his stuff to her. Do research in the guy she starts dating, for real. This is new Ghislaine right here. Allegedly, I'm off my meds. You know, figment of my imagination. Don't believe what I say. You know, the whole spiel.
About Epstein's final plans? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
By the way, shout out Law and Crime. I'm gonna play it like this so we can see their channel. Shout out to their channel. I thought I was subscribed. I subscribe now and hit the like button.
All right, before we go any further, I got to say something. Look,
I know what religion do I think she is. Yeah, I'm Jewish. Like, I got Jewish blood in me. Like, apparently, like, I'm not a real Jew, but I'm an Ashkenazi Jew, but I don't practice Judaism. I don't know. I just practice the universe and whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm definitely not like them though. But yeah, she's definitely one of them boys. One of them girls.
Family is the greatest achievement, but it is very scary for those out there to think, What happens if they're not around to take care of them? And I know life insurance is not fun to think about. Nobody wants to think about it, but that will get
this
done.
fucking stupid life insurance. Goddamn.
I want to one of them have millions for years / sidebar. It's a name that surfaced at the edges, buried for years beneath layers of redaction and different documents. And now we have millions of pages released by the Department of Justice, documents tied to one of the most disturbing sagas in modern criminal history. And right now, I want to talk about one woman in particular. This woman has quietly emerged, not as a victim, not as an accomplice, but as something different. According to the New York Times, she was the last.
Mossad was like, Jeffrey's over, you're next. Allegedly.
Known confidant of Jeffrey Epstein, the woman that he apparently called just hours before he was found dead in his jail cell. And that woman, according to the record.
Wait. Where's the phone call? That shit's recorded. Where's the phone call?
Is Karina Shuliak. Now, why does that name matter? Because buried in those same files is a seemingly secret financial document signed by Epstein just 2 days before he died. And this document appears to place her at the center of his final financial plans. Outlines an extraordinary bequest. More than $100 million was set to go to her. And also, his private islands, his Manhattan mansion, a 33-carat diamond ring described in Epstein's own handwriting as given in contemplation of marriage? So who is Shuliak? Well, the Times reports that Shuliak is a Belarusian immigrant, a dentist, a woman who remained close to Epstein during his final days in custody. This is, by the way, when much of the world had turned away. She's almost invisible in the official record because everybody talks about Ghislaine Maxwell, but when you read these financial documents, she is central to his life, central to the future that Epstein appeared to be planning. And the questions now surrounding her, the mystery only deepens because also buried in those files are details that are even more unsettling. An email from Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York, congratulating Jeffrey Epstein on the birth of a baby boy in 2011. A diary entry from a teenage victim who writes that she was made to feel like a human incubator for what Epstein allegedly described as his.
Yeah, this is, oh my God, this is what we went over yesterday, and it was so sick. And if anyone knows about Epstein and knows about some of the lore, is that he was very interested in genetics, right? He had a lot of scientists at his island. And there's this girl here who had a diary, and like apparently, I don't know, they just kept getting her pregnant because she had a superior gene pool. And all these scouts out here that are, you know, because we were just hearing about scouts here, how he has these people out there looking for girls and scouting for modeling. They're looking for people with good genetics. And then they're popping out kids. The saddest thing was this girl got to one of these babies she had. The girl who helped her go ahead and deliver it went and washed it up, gave it to her. She got to feed it and hold it and love it for 15 minutes. Then they took it from her. And they told her she just had to let go. That was her third kid they took. It's fucking crazy, sick shit, man.
Superior gene pool? This is all incredibly unsettling. We're trying to unpack as much as we can from the Epstein saga. And this
I'm telling you, it was like they're scouting the world for the girls with the best genes, and then for like bringing them to the island, and some like I don't know who's the guy that has the good genes. I mean, is it him? I don't fucking know, but they're definitely making him have kids. You know, it's crazy.
Deep dive into what his life was about and the questions that still linger. I mean, what else don't we know about Jeffrey Epstein and the world that he left behind? So if you're just joining us, or even if you've been following this whole thing from the very beginning, just want to lay out for everyone what's going on so we're all on the same page. For years, the name Jeffrey Epstein meant a few things to the public. Financier, a registered sex offender, the guy with the island, the one with the powerful friends, but the full, ugly machinery of it all, that was locked up. It was sealed. It was hidden in vaults, redacted files. Now that changed, or at least started to change, with what's been called the Epstein dump, It wasn't one big reveal. It was a slow, court-ordered trickle of documents released.
You know, and I said this on the stream when I covered these speeches, when these victims gave these speeches. But the fact that we even have to have an Epstein Files Transparency Act is fucking crazy, right? The fact that we even have to fight to release a criminal record is wild. Like, seriously.
Under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, millions of pages, emails, flight logs, depositions, police reports, financial records, a lot.
See, it's just a big fucking show too. I mean, look, this guy's holding up a binder. The Epstein's Files Phase 1. This one has a binder. Like, yeah, well, thank you for the show. The world is just a big show, and we already know. The fact that you're doing this just makes it look way worse. Like, holy shit. The Epstein Files Phase 1.
Emails, flight logs, depositions, police reports, financial records. A lot of it is exactly what you would expect. Disturbing, suggestive, grim, procedural, and it kind of lays out what this guy's life was like and who he was talking to. But in that mountain of paper, we have started to uncover threads that appear to deviate from the main story here. Threads that pointed beyond the criminal activity or the alleged criminal activity towards what he was building, who he was protecting, what he intended to leave behind. And that is where we get to Corinna Shuliak, because she wasn't in the headlines about the victims or the trial. She wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell. Her name popped up in the financial documents, a trust, a will, the asset lists, the stuff that deals not with the past, but with the future.
What is her name again? Sorry.
Trial. She wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell. Her threads that pointed beyond the criminal activity or the alleged criminal activity towards what he was building, who he was protecting, what he intended to leave behind. And that is where we get to Corinna Shuliak, because she wasn't in the headlines about the victims or the trial. She wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell. Her name popped up in the financial documents, a trust, a will, the asset lists, the stuff that deals not with the past, but with the future, what Epstein planned. And one of the biggest funds that we have uncovered is a document called the 1953 Trust. It was dated August 8th, 2019. Now, Epstein signed it while he was in jail, right? This is as he was awaiting trial on federal sex crimes charges, sex trafficking. And then 2 days later, after he signed it, he's dead. And the document was basically his blueprint for what happened to his empire, valued at over $600 million at the time after he was gone. And by the way, we knew about this document. It was referenced in his will, which was publicized. It was mentioned in litigation over the years, but we really didn't know the exact content of it and what it shows us. It was kind of a secret. So this is big. And right there at the very top of the beneficiary list, Corinna Shuliak, set to receive more money than anybody else, plus all of his iconic properties. And according to Business Insider, this document superseded an earlier trust from just January of that year, which had named apparently someone else at the top of the beneficiary list. So that document, which they say was called the Jeffrey E. Epstein 2019 Trust, it's actually no longer available on the DOJ site, by the way. We actually tried to find it, we couldn't. But Business Insider says they saw it, and so that would mean between January...
So obviously, and this is all allegedly, you know what I mean? All alleged, blah, 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 blah. I'm off my meds, don't listen to anything. I'm thinking, so Jeffrey knew he was done. So a few hours before he ended up doing himself, like, he called her and said, look, you're going to be the next one to take over everything. You can get the properties, you can get the money, you can get this and all this other stuff, and she's going to be the new Ghislaine. We really need to look into the guy that she gets with after this. We need to look into the guy she gets with, let alone look into her. And you want to know what I'm finding? Yeah, they say she's from, like, Belarus. Yeah, it's called Ashkenazi, or what's the other one? What's the other kind of Jewish person? Jewish people? Ashkenazi, and tell me in the chat right now. You guys get what I'm saying. But she obviously a part of them boys. He called her. He was like, yo, it's over with. I know too much. They're going to get me into the interrogation room. I'm just going to have to, it's just the way it is. And you're going to have to take over. We really need to watch who she gets with next. But I'm looking into her past right now. And yeah, it's looking like she's, yeah. So anyway, if you're new to the stream, guys, we have 243 people in here. We only have 68 likes. We have 32 more beautiful people that just need to double tap that screen so we can get over 100 likes, guys. Let's see how far over 100 likes we can get. Support your boy. I do this stuff Monday through Friday, 9 to 1:30 Central Time. Appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. You could be spending your time anywhere else, but you're here with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button above my head. We just hit 10K on Saturday. Let's go. And we're already on the hard track to 20K. So help me hit 20K before the end of the month. We're trying to hit 100K before the end of the year. God bless everybody for being here. I love you guys. Say what's up in the chat. Support your boy. God bless.
January and August, something changed dramatically. Now that is the document trail that led us to her, and it raised immediate questions. Who was this person who suddenly became the centerpiece of his final plans? What was their relationship? What does her prominence to these files tell us about Epstein's inner world that we don't fully understand? What did she know? So we're going to get to all
welcome
of that.
In, Jason.
First,
welcome
let
in,
me just
Elusive.
quickly run through what we seem to
Google.
know about Shuliak from the public record. So the basic facts before we dive into the documents themselves. What do we know about her? Well, if you were to sketch a profile from the public reporting from outlets like the New York Times, Business Insider, The Independent, here's the picture that comes together. She's a Belarusian immigrant. She came to the United States in 2009 when she was about 20. She entered Epstein's life not long after, which is interesting, right? Because that was right after he was convicted in Florida for sex crimes. And this is, again, when a lot of his old social...
God bless you, Dylan. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, brother.
Had peeled away. In fact, a source quoted by the Daily Mail claimed that her willingness to stand by him after his initial disgrace, that only strengthened their relationship. Now, she was trained as a dentist. The Independent reports...
So you're telling me that this girl came from Belarus. She's an immigrant. She's starting her own dental company. She's sitting here. She's getting her own work done. Don't know where'd she go to school. I'm definitely going to check that out. Where'd she go to school? But... she gets to know Jeffrey. He gets these charges down in Florida, gets basically a slap on the wrist. This girl knows about it. She knows that, oh, you touch little kids? Oh, I'm okay with that. Yeah, okay.
Epstein actually helped pay her way through dental school at Columbia University. She was licensed in Florida and California.
Oh, he helped pay for the schooling, of course.
California. She was even linked to a dental office in St. Thomas that shared an address with one of Epstein's shell companies, which is interesting, by the way, because in a previous episode of Sidebar, remember we showed you an image of a dentist chair that was found in a room on Epstein's island? We couldn't really confirm what that was, but it does make you think, does this have anything to do with Shuliak if she's a dentist? I mean, you got to wonder if there was some sort of correlation there, considering her profession. But here's the thing. For much of their alleged decade-long relationship, and I don't know if it was on again, off again, or what the circumstances were, Shuliak was actually married to another woman in Epstein's world. I'm talking about Jennifer Callan.
What? What?
Wedding was in 2013, and lawyers for Epstein's victims have alleged that his network used
20 more beautiful people, guys. 20 more beautiful people. Just need to double tap your screens, get those likes up, man. We'll be at 100 likes. Let's see how far past 100 we can get, man. Much love to every single one of y'all. God bless.
Same-sex marriages to help associates with immigration status and citizenship to keep it all under the radar. And Shuliak and Callan, they divorced in 2019. Remember, this was right about the time of Epstein's arrest. Personality-wise, the descriptions, based on the reporting, they're all over the map. Some sources called her the inspector, that she was madly jealous of him, monitoring who he was talking to, his contacts. Others, like author Michael Wolff, who dined at Epstein's home, had this kind of friendship with him, recalled her as, quote, absolutely silent in company. But two facts are consistently reported, and they're crucial. First, she's widely believed to be the last person outside of the MCC, the Metropolitan Correctional Center, that Epstein ever spoke to. The Bureau of Prisons records show a 20-minute unrecorded phone call with her the evening before he was found dead.
What? What?
Records show a 20-minute unrecorded phone call with...
What? So what, he got a phone in his cell before he passed away? And let's go back. Did they do an inventory check when he passed away? In the cell? Did they do an inventory check? Because I want to know if he had a phone snuck in. Because why the fuck wasn't that phone call recorded? What?
With her the evening before he was found dead, okay? Second, the documents explicitly frame their relationship as profoundly significant to him. We're not talking about rumors here. We're talking about the cold language of a legal trust. The handwritten note about the diamond ring in contemplation of marriage. The staggering scale of this bequest. So we have this figure, young, from another country, professionally established with his help, legally entangled in his world, privately described as his intended fiancée, the last known person outside the jail that he spoke with. That's the who. But to really understand the why, like why her, why then, what it meant, we got to go to the documents themselves. And that is where the story moves from biography into something else, something a lot more complex. And to do this, I want to break it down, but I want to bring on a special guest, okay? Somebody who has been tracking all of the Epstein files that have been released. Justin Shepard, host of the Just in the Nick of Crime show, the podcast. It's amazing. Justin, thank you so much for taking the time. Before I even get into this specific issue, I mean, I have been following your account for the last 5 days. You have been very specific in what you've noted from the document release. Generally speaking, what do you think some of the biggest takeaways are from this Epstein file release in the last few days?
Well, I think that it's not even that I'm trying to be pointed with it. There is just so much information coming out. There are names that, we didn't know before. You're hearing about this secret baby clinic that he wanted to do. You're now hearing, things about Bill Gates.
Yeah, guys, get this. No personal cell phones were recorded to be found in Jeffrey Epstein's cell when they found him. And they did the investigation. There was no personal cell phone, so he didn't sneak in a phone. So you're going to tell me the cameras were conveniently off, and then all of a sudden there's just a convenient, unrecorded federal phone call to a person where he's giving everything he has to her.
And you're hearing things about Donald Trump, and you're hearing things about Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons. Jerry Seinfeld, like massive names that are now being brought up and brought into this, things about Vladimir Putin. So it's really all over the place. One thing that's kind of a takeaway for me, it's really insane how massive this network was, how many very well-known people are in this network, are being named or somehow in this sphere of influence, if you will. Obviously, just being in that sphere does not equate to committing a crime. But just being in that, the amount of access that Jeffrey Epstein had to these people, and nobody really knew about it until this whole document dump started coming out. It's almost mind-boggling.
And again, let me just put the caveat.
Almost.
Somebody might know Epstein, somebody might have been in his orbit per se, doesn't mean that they were involved in criminal activity
Correct.
or had knowledge of criminal activity, but obviously, being mentioned with him is so toxic. And the interesting part about this too, what's happening, and before we get into Corinna.
Whose faces are these are blurred right here?
Shuliak.
And if you guys don't know too, like a lot of people only know like the Jeffrey Epstein and he was interested in this, he did that. But a lot of people don't know that him and Donald Trump were really in the real estate together. And the story is that Donald Trump had underswept Epstein in a real estate deal. And this was around the time of his presidency. And he had he had basically fucked him over in this real estate deal that they both were supposed to be going in on. And Epstein was really mad, and he was threatening to expose things. And this was during when Donald Trump became president. Again, I'm off my meds. I'm a comedian. Figment of my imagination, blah, 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 allegedly. But that's what the story is.
The Clintons, right? The Clintons have now agreed to testify on Capitol Hill about Jeffrey Epstein. I was listening to Cuomo last night on News Nation, and he had on Vicky.
I wonder if Bill Clinton still thinks about Monica Lewinsky. You think so? I wonder if he still thinks about her. I wonder if he's still mad at Mossad for that. 13 more beautiful people. Just need double tap. That's going to be 100 likes. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that button up here. Help me reach 20K subs before the end of the month.
Ward, and he asked her, what would you want the Clintons to be asked? And she was basically, I want to know, like, what were they expecting from Epstein? Like, what did they think they were going to get? What do you think about the Clintons and what they might testify to regarding him?
So the Clintons are an interesting group of people. Bill Clinton, going back to even his time in office, even his time as governor of Arkansas, there have been rumors surrounding him with impropriety with young girls, et cetera. I'm not saying anything illegal, but just those rumors and speculation have been there for decades. At the same time, when you look at kind of everything that's gone on with Congress and the potential contempt, because I believe that they were going to vote for a contempt hearing later this week, I think possibly tomorrow, when they decided all of a sudden, okay, well, we'll go ahead and testify. I don't know what they're planning on doing, but here's what I do know. Both of them are incredible. Bill and Hillary Clinton are incredibly intelligent individuals. Both have law degrees. He's a Rhodes Scholar. She came from Yale. So whatever they're planning on doing, in my opinion, there was a method to their madness in delaying their testifying. And I'm very interested to kind of see what comes out of this.
I think we all are. So we'll see what happens there. But now I want to go on to the main focus of this episode. Corinna Shuliak, okay? Is this somebody that you knew before? Is this somebody, her name surfacing so prominently in these financial documents? A, what does that signal to you? And B, have you heard about her before? What do you know about her?
So I'll answer the second one first, which is I had not heard about her before until this recent, document avalanche that we got. As far as everything, I mean, he's looking at leaving her a 33 karat diamond. I should have looked up what that was worth. I have no idea, but I would imagine millions and millions of dollars. The island itself, there was another $50 million in liquid assets. Plus, apparently, he was looking at a ranch and possibly a Paris property. So obviously, this person was somebody who meant a great deal to Jerry.
$1.5 million is what I'm seeing for 33 or for a 30 karat diamond, 33 karat.
Jeffrey Epstein. Now,
One second. I'm gonna get you guys the I'll let this play, but I'll let you guys know how much the diamond was worth.
reason for that, I'm not exactly sure. I also find it...
Okay, so it says right here that $8.8 million. Around that amount. So around $8.8 million is what the 33 karat diamond was worth.
Interesting that this will was signed by him 2 days prior to his death.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
It's hard to overlook that.
Yeah, because that would seem to suggest to me that the theories out there that he was killed, I don't know if that necessarily lines up. I mean, it would make more sense if he was getting all of his affairs in order and 2 days later did something to himself versus 2 days later he was killed, or, some will say, oh, he knew he was going to be killed, right? I mean, that does become a question.
I do think it changes the public narrative a bit.
Dude, everybody knows he was with Mossad and all that other stuff. It's like, of course, you're going to be killed. It's just like a CIA asset that's compromised, right? They're going to be offed.
It's like, he knew it was
I'll be right back. I'm going to let this play. I got to go to the bathroom.
coming. So that means one of two things. Either he did it himself, which is, in this case, I would say the more likely outcome, or he knew somebody was coming for him. And I think that it's probably more the former than the latter.
So let's talk about this, because I think the financial documents tell a lot of the story. There was this shift, apparently, from this earlier document in January of 2019 to the 1953 trust in August, again, that he apparently signed in jail just 2 days before he died. What does that tell you, right, about Epstein's state of mind? What does it tell you about his priorities? That's what we're talking about. So I want to talk about the two fixers that are named alongside here. So you have Darren Indyke and Richard Kahn. And from a legal and a practical standpoint, their central roles as executors and trustees. Do you know anything about them? Have you heard about their names before? Does it tell you anything about the structure of this?
They're another one that I had not heard before this whole, myriad of information came out. But the thing about Epstein is you can say what you want. He was obviously a very vile human being. He was a trafficker, a convicted pedophile, or convicted trafficker, predator. But he was brilliant. You can't deny that. So he surrounded himself with people who he knew would maintain his secrets, do what he wanted, and even in death, that I think still stays true. Now, to answer your question, the shift, for whatever reason, he really wanted to make sure that she was very well taken care of, and other people who were close to him were taken care of. Because I believe that we have a $288 million estate. He's got 44 benefactors. Obviously, Corinna is the one who is benefiting the most from this, or is getting the most from this. His brother was going to get $10 million. There was somebody else that was going to get $10 million.
I think Maxwell.
Now, yeah, it was Maxwell. Thank you. Was going to get $10 million. So these are all people who were very close to him, very loyal to him. that he was making sure we're well taken care of. So I think that basically what this tells me is that these are the people who he's rewarding for keeping his secrets, for keeping the structure, for doing everything that needed to be done to keep his world operating.
And by the way, just to be clear, we don't know for sure why he gave the money to everybody, whether or not it was, like you said, to reward. But it does beg the question, and I'll get into this a little bit more. The government's saying right now, the Department of Justice, there's nobody else to investigate, right? There's going to be no more criminal prosecutions as of right now. When you hear about her and you hear about the money that he wanted to give her, it didn't work out, and I'll explain that away. I'll explain that too. I don't know if she's ever been interviewed. I don't know if she's ever been sat for, interrogation.
Not that I've seen. Not that's been released yet, at least.
By the way, and this is also something to note as well. You put aside maybe the conspiracy theories about what happened in his death. This 20-minute unrecorded phone call that she had with him the night before he died, so maybe the last person that ever spoke to him, what do you make of that?
I would say that somebody who had intimate knowledge of him, who was in an intimate relationship, who had that final or one of the last phone calls he ever had, to not sit down and interview them, to know find out what they know, it seems a little suspicious to me. It makes you question, why wouldn't you do that?
11 more beautiful people. Just need to double tap that screen, guys. We'll be at 100 likes. Come on, guys. Let's keep running it up. Keep hitting that subscribe button above my head. Run it up, y'all. Show some love and support.
At the end of the day, yes, people want names. People want to know who's implicated in this. But at the center of this, there are a bunch of victims, a bunch of survivors who deserve answers as well. And if for nothing else, this is supposed to be the Department of Justice. The only way they're going to get justice is to have answers. And this woman could have a lot of those answers. So I'm with you. Why not sit her down and at least see what she has to say, do a recorded interview?
And by the way, I know they're still going through the documents. I don't know if there's something to suggest maybe there was some sort of interview with her or some sort of conversation. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe stand corrected. I don't know. But I do want to go through what we seem to know from these financial documents that put Shuliak at the center of the story. So you have this foundational document. It's the Jeffrey Epstein's last will and testament, but I think that funnels the money into the trust. But what I really want to get to is the 1953 trust. So it's the one that names Shuliak. And you have this particular section, and it reads, to Corinna Shuliak, if she survives me, $50 million. In addition, the trustees are directed to purchase an annuity for the benefit of Corinna Shuliak in the amount of $50 million. So that is the headline, $100 million dedicated to her. And then you have this next section, 2.3b.
All right, guys, we're going to go through some of these files here. I'm going to look through them. Obviously, 9 more beautiful people see double tap screen. We will be at 100 likes. Thank you guys so much. We're going to go over some of these files, see what they say. Obviously, they're all just going to be redacted. I mean, just a bunch of PDFs. Wanted to get these input used to do a draft. We want to support anything else. We could be good or confidential. Give them accountants. See, like, this is nothing. This is about taxes. Back. What is this? Unclassified, law enforcement sensitive. According to the Times, a UK-based daily newspaper, Malcolm Cambridge quit the legal profession in 2020 after admitting a reckless conduct. Cambridge set up several companies registered to the Hogwarts Group with several Ian Maxwell. Disgraced solicitor Malcolm Cambridge links. I can't click those. Oh, I can. A disgraced solicitor who acted as custodian of a house where Prince Andrew allegedly had with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims set up multiple companies for Maxwell's family from the Chickswith Health Club. Malcolm Cambridge, who agreed to quit the legal profession last year after admitting to, quote, reckless conduct, set up and owned scores of companies registered to West London's the Hogwarts Group and Upmark Gym in the Property Investment Group. Many of the businesses shown little or no trading activity. Several are linked to Kevin and Ian Maxwell, sons of Robert. If you guys don't know who Robert Maxwell is Ghislaine's father or whatever. Publishing tycoon. Yeah, this is basically all nothing. He agreed to get his name removed from things. So basically, this is what so Malcolm Cambridge, the guy that we just seen on the PDF. Yeah, he agreed to set up. He agreed to admitting to reckless conduct, set up and own scores of companies registered with London's. Yeah, so that's crazy, man. Alleged to had S with Jeffrey Epstein's victims, Prince Andrew. That's redacted. So this is a website called the jeffreypodcast.com. And none of it's in English. Looks like an online casino or something. This ain't nothing. Let's keep going. Nothing. Nothing. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to see what to read here. Yeah, this is wild. Hold on, let's see if Cuff Boys went over anything new here. God, it's gonna take hours to go through all that, dude.
Today we're reading more Epstein documents involving multiple billionaires. All right, we got a wide range of documents today. Y'all wanted me to read a lot more, so I'm going to do it. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. Let's go. Why not start with one of the more disturbing documents? This email is from 2013, and of course the person sending it is redacted. Why are we redacting this person? Because look at what they said. New Brazilian just arrived, sexy and cute, 9 years old. Best regards. With multiple attachments of JPEGs. I thought this was about transparency. Why are the evil people in this world being protected? We gotta talk about Leon Black because, I mean, man, oh man, is this guy the devil. And of course, he apparently paid large sums of money to get out of this. Redacted told her it was an apprentice program. She met Ghislaine and Epstein. They watched movies together. Redacted told her to sit in his lap. Who's redacted? Someone told her to sit in Epstein's lap. Like, why are they redacting that person? He flew her to Palm Beach and St. Thomas. One particular incident with Leon Black drove her from redacted to Newark to Epstein's townhouse. Epstein introduced her to Black by name Leon and told her she would give him a massage. He introduced her to more people for massages. John Luke Burnell died in prison by hanging, the same way Epstein did, apparently. Obviously, he was accused of terrible crimes. Black was very violent, tore her clothes off, bit her V, and forced sex toys into her. Not clear whether Redacted knew about.
Guys, I just had a FedEx delivery come, so I'm gonna go grab it real quick. Okay, I'll let this play, but I gotta go grab my delivery.
About redacted allegations about Black, but they were non-public at the time of the first interview. She needed medical attention. Black left her money on the table before he left the room. Jeffrey took the money because she didn't want anything to do with it. She did not describe payments from Jeffrey. Redacted also said that she always talked about this guy, Black, who stood out, described him looking like Shrek. This motherfucker really does look like Shrek. He has a big ass nose. Redacted showed her photo from article Black. She confirmed it was him. Redacted was introduced as a mentor and she turned her over to Ghislaine, gave her a phone which she used to communicate with her. Redacted would treat her badly if Epstein reported to Redacted that she wasn't good. Why are we redacting all these people? Someone would treat her badly if Epstein reported to someone else that she wasn't good. I mean, that's clearly people involved in this whole scheme punishing victims. Why are they redacted? One time, Redacted dragged her up a flight of stairs by her hair. Who did that? Which person was doing this to victims? She was terrified of her. Redacted would be physical, including by slapping her. Ghislaine and Redacted were controlling of Blank's body. Epstein liked girls to look a certain way. Redacted would receive expensive luxury gifts. After the trips with Epstein, Redacted would also get new outfits or food after the trips. Allowed to eat something bad, normally she had to watch what she ate. Oh my God, they were monitoring what these girls were eating.
All right, your boy's new webcam came. God damn. Your boy's new webcam came, y'all. It's finally. They didn't package it that well. Hold on, y'all. I'll let this play real quick. But the new webcam came, y'all. 5 more beautiful people. Just need double tap that screen. Will be 100 likes. Let's keep running it up. Hit the button above my head so you can become a part of the family. Help me hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the month. Right now we are at 10,147. We are running it up. Let's go. We finally got the good camera again, so I am going to open it and get it hooked up while we play this here.
Oh, it's so brutal. Redacted wasn't asked if she knew other girls were working with Redacted, but she said she didn't know whether Redacted introduced other girls to Epstein. Obviously, DANY refers to District Attorney of New York. They do not doubt her allegations against Epstein and Leon Black. So why is Leon Black not criminally charged? And remember, the government said there was no other people they could charge. It's such horseshit. That was a lie. They believe she was also abused by Staley, Jess Staley or whatever. Talking about this guy right here. He's been mentioned a lot in previous documents too. Piece of shit. She has a Twitter account where she has disclosed being a victim of Epstein. In case you have not heard, it has been disclosed that Leon Black paid $62.5 million to U.S. Virgin Islands. And this does not include payments of money to individual women. It's outrageous that criminal charges have not been brought against him. I've heard one lawyer represent 10 women that he sexually assaulted. And here's the one and only Shrek. Leon Black pays settlement to U.S. Virgin Islands to avoid Epstein legal claims. A spokesperson for Black confirmed in an emailed statement that Black had settled with Virgin Islands, noting that there was no suggestion in the settlement that Mr. Black was aware or participated in any misconduct. What a load of horse shit. Black had paid Epstein for legitimate financial advisory services, and that Black had resolved the Virgin Islands' potential claims arising out of the unintended consequences of those payments. Word of Black's settlement follows a demand earlier this month from Virgin Islands that JP Morgan Chase pay at least $190 million and possibly more to resolve its lawsuit accusing the largest U.S. bank of ignoring the disgraced late financier Epstein's sex trafficking. The bank has denied that it knew about abuses of Epstein, who was a client from 98 to 2013. There is some evidence that JP Morgan knew about everything. Head of JP Morgan had a close relationship. Jess Staley developed a close relationship with Epstein when Staley was head of JP Morgan. More redacted. And then they talk about Staley again being the CEO. He stepped down in November 21. JP Morgan ignored obvious red flags. More redacted. Who is at JP Morgan doing this? Are they throwing it all on Jess Staley? There's got to be more people. It's a giant company. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why are they protecting the higher ups at JP Morgan? Why are we doing this? Each of these red flags were serious. Together they suggest.
First of all, we know why we're doing this, okay? We know exactly why we're doing this. Bro, this new camera is here. I'm so fucking excited. Let's go, you guys. Seriously, let's go. It's gotta pop in here soon. Hold on. One second, guys. One second. We're just gonna delete this one. We're gonna start a new one. Hold on, y'all. One second, y'all. You're about to see the difference. Oh, I'm so psyched and thankful. Oh my goodness. This is gonna make your guys' experience so much better. Here we go. Let's go, y'all. It's gonna be a little bit blurry because it's fucking freezing outside, so yeah. Okay, so let's put this here. Or where do I wait? Put it under here once. Let's see, hold on. This right here, I want to be above everything. Right? Is that how you do it, or do you put it down? I can't remember. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit blurry because it's so cold outside. But dude, this finally, guys, finally, you guys can watch me get up. You can finally watch me get up and write down your name on a super chat wall. You guys see how full the super chat wall is? Do you see this? I had to start writing on this wall. You feel me? Oh my God, yes, dude. Thank you so much, Jay. This is awesome, dude. Oh my God, made my day. What's the alert box? What's this? Okay. I feel like everything. There we go. All right, I got the super chat goal going. That's all I care about. Well, and then we can do the alert box as well. All right, dude, we got it. We did it. Let's go, dude. Let's fucking go. How's it looking, you guys? How's she looking? She looking better? Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you so much, Jay. That means so much to me, dude. Because now when I go on my other computer and I make my other content, my webcam is going to be lit. I wish I could download the OBS bot app, but it doesn't let me. I'm going to have to do it after stream. What time is it? Okay, we still got an hour. All right, anyway, I got to, let's just continue. I'm so happy I got this.
Potentially illegal conduct that should have prompted action by JP Morgan. Okay, who else is involved? Epstein brought Hyde clients to JP Morgan. Another email from Jean, this lawyer in New York. Around 9:30 this morning, I received a call from a woman who now lives in Redacted who told me she wanted to speak to me, that Leon Black R-worded her violently years ago and she's never told anyone about it. And short the details, she told me that what he did to her in our almost perfect match about what my client told me. He violently bit down on her, blank, blank, blank. The biting would get harder and his teeth would clamp down more when she yelled out in pain. The woman this morning basically told me about the same biting ritual and that she could not breathe. She was in so much pain. It is too abnormal to make up. She does not know my client. This person is redacted and says it happened in 2001 at Epstein's townhouse. She gave massages there and Black was one of them. She said she never had sex with Epstein. Someone tell me how this guy is not cooked in a jail cell somewhere or dead. Now, if any of that didn't make your blood boil, here's something that definitely will. In his first case back in 2007, his sentencing agreements were very lenient compared to what the average person would have to go through. Because, let's be honest, it's because he was rich and probably paid someone. This person's questioning why everything was so lenient in this email. Thank you for calling me today. I'm confused about certain legal issues. When I asked Redacted this morning why Jeffrey Epstein was not charged with child sex trafficking, given the 2000 TVPA federal laws, she did not want to respond. It is an important question that merits a substantial answer. In light of the arguments surrounding the case, I would like to know, why was Epstein allowed to plead guilty to a single count of solicitation of minors to engage in prostitution? So he only had to plead guilty to one count. Well, guess what? In light of the 5 trafficking offenses outlined on pages 1 and 2 of the MPAA signed in 2007, why was Epstein given 12 months and 6 months in a county jail? He served only 13 months for all charges without adjudication or sentencing and without probation or community control. Unlike any other registered sex offender in the U.S. prison system today, why didn't he serve time in a state penitentiary? Why was Epstein placed in a solitary cell at the West Palm Beach stockade and only part-time? Why was he allowed to go to work outside of prison for 13 months during the day? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? This guy pled guilty to solicitation of minors, only one count, and was able to go to work during the day and prison at night. This is fucking baffling. No wonder this guy thought he was on top of the world. This is truly disgusting, like real corruption right here. Why didn't Epstein, like all other registered sex offenders in the U.S., have an attached electronic monitor during his house confinement? Why was prosecution for the offenses deferred in favor of prosecution by the state of Florida? Epstein is given the right to select and approve independent third-party counselors for the victims. What? Why is he doing anything involving the victims? Why were 5 federal trafficking offenses dismissed? Why was Epstein given the right to contest damages up to an amount agreed to between the victims and Epstein? What was the gain time Epstein earned during his period of incarceration? So gain time is like, what I remember hearing about this in other cases is like good behavior, like doing good shit inside the prison. I wonder what he did, because he wasn't apparently fucking
Welcome
there
in,
during the
Reefer.
day. Why was the federal grand jury investigation suspended? This guy should have been federally charged back in 2007, and he wasn't because he's a fucking billionaire. Why was Epstein allowed to
No,
choose?
he wasn't because he's a Mossad asset who, them boys have our government wrapped around their finger, and so he has got to do whatever he wants.
The attorneys for the victims and put a cap on their restitution. Why was the federal investigation stopped by the USAG? Why hasn't Epstein been rearrested given the
Guys, we are so close to 10,150 likes. You guys are running it up. I keep paying attention because now that ever since I hit 10,000, like I've just been like so addicted to looking at the likes. You guys are running it up. I truly appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you guys continue to double tap that screen. Just need 2 more people to double tap that screen. We'll hit 100 likes. Let's see how far we can run it up. Everybody hit that subscribe button up there and the 3 dots in the top right corner with the notification bell and join the family, man. Join the family. Let's go. We're on the road to 20K before the end of the month. And it's only the 4th. And we're already almost 800 away.
11 plus parole violations reported to the parole board since his home confinement, including weekly trips to New York and helicopter ride to travel only 9 miles. This is disgusting, bro. I did not know about how many breaks he got with the 07 case. I mean, it makes sense. I'm an idiot for not thinking about it, but so obviously there's a lot of people that think that Epstein emails have secret coded language and shit, which there is evidence of that. There's some emails that have certain typos and equal signs and extra letters and extra spaces that people are thinking is also part of the code language. For example, this one right here, it's not what I do, so I don't know exactly what the Chinese Ali Bob need equals or want more from Steve, and then just a bunch of gibberish almost with more equal signs and whatever. Some people are saying this could be from like BlackBerry, like fat fingering days, which typing on a keyboard, like your finger hits the wrong key or whatever.
Appreciate the 100 likes, y'all. Y'all are running it up. Much love to every single one of you guys, man. I appreciate everybody every single day, man. We are running it up. Thank you so much, guys.
I think there's more to it.
Now we just need super chats. Thank you to Matthew in the beginning for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate you, bro. God bless you. Support the channel by super chatting. Get your name written on the wall. And now we finally have the AI tracking camera so you can watch me write your name on the wall. Isn't that fucking cool? So support your boy, man. I do have a 10 super chat goal of $10 and above. There's 42 minutes left. Help me reach my super chat goal of 10 super chats, $10 and above. If you are going to donate any large amount, go to ko-fi.com so YouTube doesn't take half of it.
There's an insane amount of typos in this and equal signs. Why is the equal sign coming up so much? That seems like it's not just a typo. Now, this is one of the recruiters that Epstein had, Daniel Syed, that was a model recruiter, quote unquote, but there was more to it, of course. And this guy's just another piece of shit. Hello, Jeffrey. I'll be traveling with train and bus, and sometimes we have to take taxi. Sometime I have to invite the parents from lunch or cafe. I have some girls already who are there waiting for me in Poland. So I have to give them some money. It's going to be not less than 4,000 euro. Slovakia is the right place to be. I've already one lady's waiting for me to see more than 45 models. Then I will be traveling to Budapest. I will send you full report in every city that I was in. Most girls I find here are already with different agencies. I like when I do a real scouting, and besides I have this camera, it's very helpful. Jeffrey only responds saying how much, so this is the intro in 2009. Now here's what Syed would do. Take a full body shot of redacted 8 years ago. Jeffrey says, redacted, question mark. Why is all this redacted? To a alleged recruiter. Now she is really skinny. I will do Polaroid. Copy of passport. Okay, I will. How many tickets do you want for Woody? Now this
He
is
even wants copies of the passports. That's just wild.
clearly about Woody Allen, which is a whole other situation. Woody Allen is 2. Okay, thank you. Redacted. Full body if possible. Redacted.
See, where is he getting these files? Like, I wonder if he's just going consistently through all these. Because, I mean, dude, like, you can just go through these for days. And it's literally just, like, nonsense, right? Like, there's... Oh, dude, this is that girl's diary. Oh, my God, dude. This is so sad. Guys, if you guys want me to read this girl's diary, we kind of went over it yesterday. Cam Holler already went over it, but If you guys want me to read this girl's diary, let me know. I'm going to use it for a different video coming up. So make sure you guys show some love and support, but put a 1 in the chat if you guys want me to go through this girl's diary. It is sickening, and it shows how they were taking her kids based off of her special genetics. I mean, it's something out of a movie.
Standing and facing you, she is very cute. Redacted. Doesn't look happy. Boobs fake. She's very sweet. I haven't seen someone so nice like her. Very polite. Yes, she did her boobs. She'd regret when she was 18. Skype. So Daniel Syed, knowingly or not knowingly, I'm sure you know, was basically searching for women across the world, getting pictures of them, sending them to Jeffrey, copied their passports to get them back to the States. Fucking crazy. And he's not the only one that did this. I mean, look at this creepy fucker. Epstein says, yes, she showed me the best of these. They're 26.
Like I said, put 1s in the chat if you want me to go over the diary, guys.
To 29 age years old. Not for
I
me
see some
at
ones.
all. Lena is nice. We sent the papers to Barcelona. The loan was too busy and enters in a partnership. They request the name of the partnership and other owners. Very intrusive nowadays, but no choice. And this is 2018 when he was doing this shit. And he starts talking about 13 more girls in Abu Dhabi or some shit. Like, not good.
I'm telling you guys, if you guys see the way that this is set up right here and the way that their emails are and the way they're talking about these women, bro, they're looking for girls that they think have good genetics. That's why Epstein asked, were her boobs done? And the guy said, yeah, because he wanted to know if she had natural genetics. Like, it is so obvious. It is overwhelmingly obvious. That's why reading this diary is so imperative, because it just correlates with the fact that he was searching for girls with good genetics to steal kids from, allegedly. I'm off my meds. I'm figment of my imagination. I see a lot of ones, so we'll do it after this video. Let's go.
These girls were getting sent over to the United States, and Epstein would do fucked up shit to them. Because, I mean, they're desperate. They're trying to get to the United States and have a big dream or whatever. Now, here's some weird financial records for Ghislaine. She went to Kansas City over a month before Epstein's death. What was she doing in Kansas City? And she bought $400 worth of self-storage. I mean, the storage unit is the most bizarre purchase to me. $400 storage unit. Someone got to check that shit. What's inside there? Now, Brock Pierce, another wealthy, powerful person in the cryptocurrency space, had a relationship with Epstein as well. Epstein invested $3 million in Coinbase's 2014 Series C round via his Virgin Islands entity. The deal was facilitated by Brock Pierce with email showing direct outreach to Epstein's team. But Brock Pierce sends this questionable email at 3 in the morning with subject line Anastasia with a bunch of JPEG images, and then goes, the Ukraine is now my favorite country, smiley face. Brock Pierce. Now, what I would predict this is, he's sending pictures of girls. Girls I would guess from Ukraine. So I believe this is from a deposition. There's a bunch of depositions too with people in this. If you want me to read some of them, I will. In addition to the financial guarantor of the line of credit of $1 million, what other involvement are you aware of that Epstein had with MC Squared and or the apartment at 301 East 66th Street where the models lived? They were planning on buying or associating with a girl in France for a company. They're planning to do a company. Actually, I gave the paper to...
Sorry, guys, I got off the camera. I put a steak on the oven. I've been really trying to lose weight and lean out by just eating meat. So I'm eating a lot of steak, a lot of chicken, you know, things like that. So
Sean Connolly, which is an actual paper that came from the office from Jeffrey Epstein, that he was given instructions to John Luke Brunel saying that he wanted to have the same context as, what's his name? Donald Trump. And he wanted to have the same kind of benefits for the scouters. So this could be innocent model scouting talk here. Or it's not, because it's involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of trafficking that goes on with the model scouting. I'm sorry, it just makes me so freaking mad. Because it's like, yeah, we're model scouting. So I'm a billionaire and I'm going to send out these people to go to different countries, Venezuela, Colombia, Philippines, Thailand, wherever the fuck, and scout out these girls that just look so beautiful. And I'm going to give you the opportunity of a lifetime. Come model with us. And instead, it's like the fucking, you're coming to hell.
Several scumbag proven pedophiles. And of course, Trump's name comes up. I mean, it's red flags. I mean, I even got comments yesterday.
And by the way, thank you guys so much. We are at 10,150 likes. If we just get, or 10,150 subscribers, I mean, if we just get 50 more subscribers, we will be at 10.2K. That means we will be 800 subscribers away from 20,000. We just hit 10,000 Saturday. Imagine if we hit 20,000 again in a week or two before the month ends. That would be crazy.
share on my other video of people still bootlicking. I mean, pretty much known pedophiles at this point. It's crazy. The document we have here is a 2019 interview with a male Caucasian, a letter redacted here. Initial conversation and mannerism suggested some degree of possible mental illness or emotional instability, although redacted was polite and well-mannered. Redacted stated he first met with Epstein at approximately age 4 while at the redacted East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Stated that his family were members of the redacted. Stated at the time he was R-worded, sodomized by his great uncle, and that Epstein was present and did not touch him. Redacted stated that after he was R-worded by his great uncle, Epstein then spoke with him. Redacted stated he did not know the identity of Epstein until some unspecified time. And
Stacy, I appreciate that, but 20% carbs, the rest fats and proteins for sure.
2016. Further stated in some substance that while on a large luxury ship that sailed out of the Newport Beach show in Newport, Rhode Island, September, redacting the date. Why are they redacting the date there? Very weird. Should dates ever be redacted in this? Apparently they've been redacting the wrong things, like they've redacted Epstein's name a lot on accident, and then they show another file of the same file and it's not redacted. Whoever's job it was to redact this, they f***ed up. And we also know they didn't redact some victims' names and images that are bad. So at approximately 8 years of age,
thank you to Bye Felicia for the subscription. God bless you. Welcome to the See Me Now family. God bless.
he, redacted, was subjected to some type of medical exam about the yacht by unknown doctor while his great uncle and family member. Redacted went on to describe a bizarre event in which the doctor inserted a tape measure in his rectum, stated subsequent to...
What? How do you even insert a tape measure in there, bro? Like, tape measures aren't even like that. You mean a ruler?
To the exam, he was R-worded by Epstein, as well as the former president, William J. Clinton, while in a heavy drug-induced state. He also stated the bottom of his feet and back were slashed. Further stated also during the said yacht trip, multiple unknown black males were engaged in sex acts with unknown...
Oh my god, bro. Like, this is just, like, so demonic, bro. Like, everything we're reading here is just nothing but demonic. I mean, we're talking about sodomy. We're talking about... And then we got Donald Trump sitting here saying, the Epstein files? You're still worried about the Epstein files? If you're still worried about that, you're an idiot. Like, what? Jesus Christ, dude. You know what I mean? It's just like... God, my freaking accountant keeps calling me. And I can't answer right now.
Female whites who had their backs slashed and were bleeding. Blank also describes several infants being killed and their intestines removed, as well as other acts of cannibalism.
Okay, now I want you to pay attention in this part because we're about to... oh my... hold on one second. Just wait. Because I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. I'm off my meds. I'm an idiot. Nothing I say can be true. Everything's comedic. But you see, when they said that, also described several infants being killed and their intestines removed, as well as other acts of cannibalism. That girl had 3 kids taken from her. And she wanted to know what happened to them. And look at these files. I wonder how much adrenochrome that they got out of these babies. Makes me fucking sick.
So that's the big part right there, is the cannibalism accusation on a yacht with a bunch of powerful people. All stated the former U.S.
Dude, you hear rabbis talk about all the time. Dude, how do you think... Dude, McDonald's says that they serve however many burgers a day. There's no way that they can kill that many cows. The rabbis allegedly talk about how they feed... Okay, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it, but you guys already know where I'm going. We're all basically cannibals right now because of what they're doing. Just saying.
U.S. President George H.W. Bush engaged in a sex act with an unnamed black male. Former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and businessman George Soros were present on the same yacht. While all of this occurred,
Help support your boy. Thank you guys for helping me reach 20,000 by the end of the month, man. This is crazy. We're at 10,153. I appreciate everybody for the support and running up the likes, you guys. Make sure you guys send through your super chats as well. Now we got the AI tracking camera, so when I write your name down on the donor wall, you guys can see where I write it and where it's at, and you guys can know. Also help support a single father, man, who's chasing his dreams to 100,000 subs, and we're getting there quick.
Was asked if he had any injuries or scars for evidence, to which he responded, "On my anus." Link was unable to provide any supporting or corroborating evidence or identities of any witnesses to support his claim of victimization. So this could be someone just, lying, or this could be real. It sucks because no matter what, I doubt they really investigated it much. I mean, off rip, this agent was saying this guy has mental issues, so this got buried quickly. The victim wanted to add more to it suddenly. He's a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a sword of some kind, but left no scarring. What? That's one of the details where I'm like, that makes no sense to me. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered and their intestines removed and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. He was also R-worded by George Bush 1. Now, apparently he also stated at one point, Trump, along with his wife Melania, were present during this yacht trip. This almost makes me, all these people on this yacht, I don't know, man. If you want me to make more videos like this, hit subscribe. Thank you guys. Peace out.
All right, guys. So I think it's time. I have this one downloaded, so hold on. I just want to see, which one did I click? All right, anyways, so let's get back in. Whoa, what's this? It's been my pleasure getting to know you and to fix the opportunity to work with you. I wish great success and opportunity for you in your continued road through recovery. You deserve happiness. All the best, of course, is redacted. What the fuck is all this shit, dude? This is weird. Oh my god, dude, look how creepy this is. In my imaginary neighborhood, you might live right next door. I'm downloading that shit. What the fuck? I can't save it as anything else. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. I'm not a very good artist, but just something to make you smile. What the fuck, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna read the diary. Just give me 1 second. This is crazy, bro. Freaking. I mean, this one is wild. I gotta mark which ones. Hold on. So, god damn it. So hold on. Which one was this? I'm gonna take a picture, because I'm gonna go over each of these in actual videos I post for content. That's crazy. All right. So which one did I pick for the diary here? Let's see. So that one was that one, maybe before. What the fuck? Dude, clicking into any of these is just wild, bro. All right, let's see. Hold on. Let's look at my download to see if I have the whole diary here. All right, here it is. So, first of all, confidential attorney diaries only. This is crazy. Just so you guys know, I'm going to give you guys why do you want me to save it to everyone wants me to read it now? Everybody. Why do you want me to save this to read through later? Actually, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to read through it on my because after this I'm going to get on my other PC and I'm going to make videos actually about it. So we'll just go through it on a video that I'll actually drop. So
The DOJ has officially released over 3 million additional pages of the Epstein files. More than 2,000.
The other stuff I found, yeah, well, that was crazy too, so I saved that. I'm just going to end up, because after I get off here, I'm going to actually make like a long form, actual video to upload about it and go deep into it and give my opinion. And it's better just to do that, and upload that rather than just do it on here where, you know, it's going to be repetitive. So it is what it is.
Videos and 180,000 images are included. There's so much in these files it's almost impossible to read everything and look at all the pictures and everything. I'm just gonna dig in and start reading shit. Look at this website someone made. It's called Epstein Secrets, and it just shows all his relationships with everyone when you click each name, and it's just very powerful.
Wait, what's this website? Epstein Secrets, he said?
I'm just gonna dig in and start reading shit. Look at this website someone made. It's called Epstein Secrets, and it just shows all his relationships with everyone when you click each name, and it's just very powerful people everywhere. I mean, Prince Andrew, Donald Trump over here, 3,100 mentions, Bill Clinton, 1,300 mentions, Hillary Clinton, Elon Musk. I mean, we even got my boy Stephen Hawking over here. Like, come on, Stephen, what you doing on them islands? We all know what that man doing on them islands. Would you look at this? June 2023. Do you have time for a call to discuss a victim who recently came to our attention with connections to Epstein Maxwell case?
Where did he find this map? Right here it is, right here, I bet. Oh, no. What did he say it was in the beginning? I want to find it.
The DOJ has officially released over 3 million additional pages of the Epstein files. More than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are included. There's so much in these files it's almost impossible to read everything and look at all the pictures and everything. I'm just gonna dig in and start reading shit. Look at this website someone made. It's called Epstein Secrets.
Epstein Secrets. Epstein. Let's just do this. Oops. What did they delete it or what? Well, now that makes me mad. I want to know where the hell this is. Someone find it for me and send me the link. Now.
And it just shows all his relationships with everyone when you click each name, and it's just very powerful people everywhere. I mean, Prince Andrew, Donald Trump over here, 3,100 mentions, Bill Clinton, 1,300 mentions, Hillary Clinton, Elon Musk. I mean, we even got my boy Stephen Hawking over here. Like, come on, Stephen. What you doing on them islands? We all know what that man doing on them islands. Would you look at this? June 2023. Do you have time for a call to discuss a victim who recently came to our attention with connections to Epstein-Maxwell case? This victim has identified other potential traffickers. Remember, the government tells us all day that there's no other people that did anything. So here's an FBI tip line. And this one is obviously a bunch of tips. I mean, people call in and leave tips. So some of it could be horseshit. I mean, that's just how this works, but some of it could be true. You know what I mean? Redacted reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was 13 to 14 when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. The response from the tip line was spoke with the caller who identified redacted as friend. Lead was sent to Washington offices to conduct interview. Redacted reported she had a friend, redacted, who was a personal assistant to Epstein in Florida from 86 until 91 or 92. This friend shared names with some of the guests at Epstein's parties to include Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. 2 voicemails left, no response received on the response. At age 16, while modeling, caller attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, the caller reported she was sexually assaulted by Epstein. On another occasion, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Owen. Here are the 2 guys that they're talking about in this complaint. They're actually going to trial this week in federal courts, which is wild. Alan and Oren lured caller and her friend upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated that Oren R-worded her best friend, and a third brother, Tao, R-worded a 14-year-old girl named Blank. Caller named other individuals in the big orgy with her and other young girls and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Online complainant reported she was a victim and witnessed a ST ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, between 95 and 96. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as madam and broker for sex parties, clients of whom Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participation in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's.
So there's accusations of them being murdered and buried at the facility. What? Oh my God.
Then had a security that if she ever talked of what went on there or who she saw, she would end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other. Claims to have video of high-profile sex parties dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. But then over here it says for this specific one, she was spoken to and deemed not credible. Wait, hold on. Why is this redacted now? I swear I saw this unredacted. Dude, look. Okay. This is crazy. Now I think I know why they're deleting shit. Additional research showed 3 separate incidents involving police which requested mandatory psychiatric evaluations. But then on the website now, it's redacted. So basically what I just figured out, they posted shit and then they're realizing they should have redacted certain things. They delete it, then re-upload it. I mean, that's what happened here. Claims he was contacted by a female victim of Epstein who wants to publish a book.
Shout out to Cuff Boys though for getting that early before they delete it and re-upload it.
Book provided background information for himself, such as working with prominent figures such as Leslie Wexner and Epstein, being pardoned by U.S. President, among several other pieces of information. The victim reportedly knew about criminal activity that occurred in multiple states and on airplanes, and told complainant there were films of prominent men such as Epstein, Clinton, Trump, and that Ghislaine Maxwell was in the videos as well. No probative information. A complainant reported meeting Lisa, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm an idiot, a hospital where they were roommates in 2000. She was invited to Epstein's house. She met a model scout named Bobby Cox. While at this party, complainant stated that they all had been invited by Donald Trump to a party at Mar-a-Lago. She wanted to go to the party and was allegedly told by the V name that it was for prostitutes. So this girl overheard about a party to go to Mar-a-Lago, and apparently the guy was like, no, it's for prostitutes, you're not going. When she was 14, Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly approached her about modeling, international travel, and massages. Never reached out to Maxwell because of the offer sounded as if it was most based around modeling, which she was unable to do so. She made a podcast of her story as a Pilates instructor and went to Epstein's once. Second time, called the royal family, was contacting her about images of Prince Andrew's. Claims she would send.
So in case you guys are wondering who the Bobby Cox is, right? Because every single time he brings up a person who is like, oh, this guy's scouting and this is his name, I always think to myself, okay, well, who is that? Let's figure that out. So I looked it up. And here's what the government released about him right here. So let's oh God, can I send it? Is there a way I can send it to you, to this computer over here? Hold on one second. Oh God, is there, please let me do it. Oops. Hold on. I can do it. 1 second. This is why I like using MacBooks. 2 MacBooks when I'm streaming is so easy because this is exactly why I like doing it. Because I can just airdrop stuff in between that I find when I research and stuff like that. So, let's see. Is it coming through? Should be coming through here. Do I gotta put it closer? Come on, fool. Hurry up. Here, we'll just do this. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Now send through to the MacBook. Or do I have to? Okay, I bet you I have to do this first. Hold on. I have to download it, don't I? I don't want to have to do that, though. So just airdrop. Send it through, fool. Quit being a pussy. Or a wussy, I mean, sorry. We'll just do this, bro. Fuck, this is easier. What's his name? My computer didn't want to show you how cool my setup was, so I had to hurry up and freaking just go ahead and do this. So here's Bobby Cox. Here's one of the things that was, released by the government. So, let's go over this. Details on 10/09/2020 at 7:22:58 p.m. Eastern Time. Date of birth, all redacted right here. Cellular telephone number, blah, blah, called FBI National Threat Center to report information regarding Jeffrey Epstein party. So someone was calling, right? The FBI to report some shit was going on. Some shit besides using cocaine and all that other shit was going on at the Jeffrey Epstein party, okay? That's what was going on, all right? So someone called. Redacted provided the following information. Redacted met Lisa Villeneuve at the hospital where they roommates in 2000. I'll just call her Vil. Now goes by Ghislaine. Oh my God. Was that her first name? Was Villeneuve Ghislaine's first name? Tell me how weird that is. Are you guys seeing this? Hold on. So was Villeneuve now goes by Ghislaine Lisa Villeneuve. I bet you she changed that Villeneuve name after she married Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, Red, you have to chill, bro. So if my mods do what they do to you, I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't pay attention. That's why I say super chat. If you want me to read your chat, super chat. Otherwise, I'm really trying to do some research here. Anyway, so case ID number 50DNY30 whatever. Epstein Jeffrey, child S trafficking. Again, I read that, provided. So let's go from here. I swear to God, this Villeneuve might have changed her name to Ghislaine. So, Redacted met Miss Villeneuve at the hospital where they were roommates in 2000. Villeneuve now goes by Ghislaine Lisa Villeneuve and sells real estate in Irvine, California. After Redacted and Villeneuve left the hospital, they remained friends. After that year, 2000, around Christmas time, Villeneuve invited Redacted to a party in Palm Beach Island, Florida. Redacted believes the house belonged to Epstein. Before the part, Villeneuve took Redacted to meet Bobby Cox. Here's the Bobby Cox that we were just hearing about right here in this Cuff Boys video. Bobby Cox, the guy who's going out and scouting. Cox was a young man and introduced himself as a model scout. Villeneuve okay, I'm just going to call her Vil. I'm sorry, I just cannot pronounce the name. Vil laughed in response to Cox's introduction and said, "No, you're a pimp." Vil, Cox, and Redacted then went to the party. They entered the party through the backyard and Vil said she would go inside and speak to the hostess, which Redacted believes was Ghislaine Maxwell. When Vil took Redacted inside, Vil told Redacted to stay close and not go into any of the rooms. Vil took Redacted to meet a man named Kirk Schmidt, who is currently the CEO of Blue Buffalo. And if we want to look up what Blue Buffalo is, Blue Buffalo is a dog food company who sell. I used to work for TSC, dog food company. I do have bad eyes, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry if you guys have to deal with my bad reading for real. So this Kurt Schmidt, the CEO of Blue Buffalo, the dog food company, you better be watching your back, bro, because you're in one of these files and your name is not redacted. Who is currently CEO of Blue Buffalo. When Vil and Redacted approached Schmidt and he asked Vil if Redacted was cool, Redacted stated she was cool. Vil said no. He means cool to have sex. Schmidt said no, and he meant Kane. Okay, you guys, whatever. I can't read some of this on YouTube. Vil took Redacted back inside and told someone in the party that Donald Trump had invited them all to the party to Mar-a-Lago, and Vil she wanted to go, but Vil told Redacted it wasn't that kind of party. It was for prostitutes. Redacted hasn't spoken to Vil since 2002. You guys see that? Do you guys see that? Schmidt said no. Let's go. Schmidt said no. He meant coke. Vil took Redacted back inside, and someone told the party that Donald Trump had invited them all to the party at Mar-a-Lago. Redacted told Vil that she wanted to go, but Vil said no. Redacted, this wasn't your kind of party. This is a party for prostitutes. I mean, how much more information do you need to get about Donald Trump to realize that he is involved so far in these Epstein files that that's why it's being so redacted? Trump was statutory. Okay, never mind. I'm off my meds. I'm a comedian, figment of my imagination. My mind is crazy and it's warped. Don't believe anything I say. I truly am not myself right now. I am in an intoxicated state. Trump is a yeah, at first I was like, Trump's not involved, but I'm downloading this too. That's crazy. Holy crap, dude. Wow.
An email to corroborate, no email received. What? Complainant reported his ex-girlfriends, blank, were victims of Epstein's and one was murdered. While working as a limousine driver, complainant recalled picking up Donald Trump in '95 to take him to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. During that ride, he recalled hearing some of the things Trump spoke about on his cell phone were very concerning and described being a few seconds from pulling the limousine over and within a few seconds of him pulling him out of the car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. He noted that Trump repeatedly stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone. One of the complainant's ex-girlfriend, blank, told told complainant Trump R-worded her, as did Epstein. Voicemail left, no response. This on the right is the response by the tip line, by the FBI tip line. So they hear this tip and they don't do anything besides leaving a voicemail. Caller's talking about crimes committed against her. She claims to be a prisoner. She references Lisa Marie Presley, the British royal family, President Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein. No contact made, lives in Australia. All right, so that one's probably horse shit. I mean, lives in Australia. I don't know. Complaint reporter neighbors sought modeling gigs at Trump Modeling Agency and NYC between the years 98 and 2000. She went on cruises set up by a recruiter.
So you guys literally just heard me go into that Corey Cox guy or whatever the hell his name is. It is what it is, bro. I got something that just messaged me. That's wild.
Reported the neighbor was allegedly R-worded by someone they think is Epstein. Complaint following up after a call with NYPD officer regarding her previous tip reported that she was forced to perform sex acts when she was 13 and pregnant in 84. High-profile individuals involved. The murder and disposal of her newborn daughter. Complaint reported Donald Trump participated in regularly paying in money to force her to perform sex acts with him, and alleged Trump was present when her uncle murdered her newborn child. So I've heard about this one. So I guess some of this is mixed in with older news, because I feel like I heard about that like a month ago. I mean, I'm reading this so casually, but can you imagine if it was any other name besides Trump in this? Replace everything that I've read about Trump with Obama. Let's just imagine that. There'd be some people raising
Replace he is spot
hell
on
over this. But some people don't seem to care. 87 ended up at Trump Plaza. Victim 1 saw Trump and wanted to meet him. Unknown male approached her and offered to introduce her to Trump. The unknown male gave Victim 1 a drink. Victim 1 woke up naked and sore with $300 on the bed. Victim 1 didn't remember how she got in the room. She remembered seeing a flash of Trump's face. Victim 1 called the caller and told her she thought she had been R-worded. She didn't go to the hospital to get an R-word kit performed because she didn't think anyone would believe her, especially because she was drunk. Victim 1 believed Trump was behind it. Victim 1 left a bar with a man who no one in the bar recognized, but who seemed familiar with Victim 1. Victim 1 was never seen again. A few years ago, remains were discovered that matched the description of what Victim 1 was wearing when she went missing. DNA tests were inconclusive. No contact made. Victim identified as deceased. Hold on. So what I just gathered from that is this poor innocent girl got R-worded allegedly by Trump and then ends up fucking dead. Can you imagine if this was any other person? This is fucking crazy. Donald Trump had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's and by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men, including Elon Musk, Don Jr., Trump, Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump were there, attorney Alan Dershowitz was there, attorney Bob Shapiro. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex.
Wait, whoa. Shapiro. The name Shapiro's on there.
Trump.
After this video, guys, I'm get off. I'm going to go over these diaries and all this other stuff on separate videos to upload as actual videos. Because, yeah.
Golf course to review the cartel members and understand how to market the 12 to 14-year-old victims to the cartel. This is baffling. From Jeffrey to Steve Bannon, Trump is said to know of Stormy Daniels' payments months before he denied it.
It's more than baffling.
Email. Jeffrey says, once you know the code, it's all clear. What the fuck are they talking about code? From Jeffrey to this person, Landon Thomas Jr. He feels alone and is nuts. I told everyone from day one, evil beyond belief, mad, and most thought I was speaking metaphorically. It's obvious he could crack. Stormy Daniels, ? Lies after lies. Landon Thomas Jr. says he's scaring the shit out of me now. He could well tank the global economy. Can Barack talk sense to him anymore? Maybe it's time for you to jump in, given how he is throwing caution in the wind in such an epic fashion. Why wouldn't he take your call? They're clearly talking about Trump here. Can Barack talk sense to him anymore? Obama talk sense to Trump? I'm confused.
Or talk sense to Jeffrey.
Jesus, this email says Epstein was paid $158 million by Black between 2012 and 2017 for services related to a variety of tax and estate planning matters, an amount that appears too far to exceed the paid by Black to his other professional advisors. This compensation scheme, which ranged between $23 million and $26 million for a number of years, appears to have far exceeded the median CEO paid for Fortune 500 CEOs. So this is about Leon Black, who I never heard of, but apparently he's some businessman. He paid Epstein $158 million. One businessman. I mean, this is fucking crazy. Look what these guys said on Reddit. Seems like dataset 10-zip isn't available on the server anymore. I don't see anything at the link. Made it to 57.6 gigabytes downloaded before this happened. Don't rely on the DOJ link. They've been removing the zips because they're actively modifying them while everyone is trying to get a hold of them. We're gonna have to brute force the downloads. Look at all these guys saying they're downloading and then it dies suddenly. I was at 47 gigabytes on dataset 10 and can't access anything on the server. They're doing this shit on purpose. I'm telling you, the government isn't dumb. All right, well, I just read for like an hour and a half. I've been scanning all day for shit. Like, that's interesting, but I think it actually is impossible to look through everything. That's it for this video. If you want me to read more, I will. Hit subscribe. Love you, boys. Peace out.
All right, I appreciate you guys for being here, man. Straight up. We are so close, bro. We are like running it up. I mean, it is crazy. If we go look at Creator Studio right now, and we just look at analytics, and we see the live count. We're at 10,153, you guys. That's crazy. I mean, that's just wild. We have been going up so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We're going to hit 20,000 before the end of the month, man. We're just going to do it. It's just going to have to happen, you know. It's going to have to happen. But I'm going to get off because I'm going to go on my other computer and oh my goodness, hold on. I'm going to go on my other computer and we're going to go over the diaries. And then we're going to go over the other things I downloaded too. But it sure looks like there's a lot more I gotta go through. So I'm gonna spend my time going on the couch and looking through all the Jeffrey Epstein files. So be looking out for videos coming out when it comes to reading the diary, reading other things, checking other things out. Just be looking for it and support it, share it, like it, comment on it, everything, man. Help run my shit through the roof, man. 10K is crazy. Thank you, Reggie. I appreciate you. Like I said, Saturday we hit 10K. By the end of this month, we're about to hit 20. You know what I mean? So while we're doing good on these streams, we also need to do good on the views on the videos I release. So every single one of you guys, go check out the videos I release. Go like them, share them, comment on them, all that other fun stuff. Get it done. Show some love and support, man. God bless every single one of you guys. I will see you later. I'm going to go make some good content. I appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. Much love to Stacy, Skippy, Reggie, Pumpkin.